Good evening, comrades. Kouldbayne's stream is about to commence. Please remain seated for takeoff. Enjoy.
Yo, stand up, we gon' make some moves tonight. Yeah, stand up, got something to prove tonight. So stand up.
What's going on, comrades, and welcome to, hang on, I gotta fix that. Adjusted the window and everything got
That's a fantastic name for the show. I love that. I love that opening.
But guys, welcome back to D&D. Of course, everything looks a little weird right now. I had a plan to use Collab Cam, but apparently Collab Cam is shit, so we are going with this. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Of course, I'm your host, Aaron. We've got our wonderful DM up here in the top corner, DJ saying live long and prosper. We've got Dre, one of our D&D masters. He's been a pro at D&D for a long time, so he's helping us kind of get this going along as well. We've got Spinny Wheel over here. No,
hello,
right Spinny Wheel, and
Spinny Wheel gets the grease.
We also have Dave right here. Dave, the Ghostbuster Supreme, is joining us tonight.
This is not my locker.
But how's everybody doing tonight? I see we've had a few people already starting in. Sorry for the late start, guys.
Stuff happens.
Jen says she sees a DJ, she sees Dre, Dave, and two Spinny Dots. Yeah, Spinny Dots is Noah. Noah is Spinny Dots.
She's shouting that she can see
hello.
DJ.
Yeah, I mean,
remember,
we don't get to see DJ often. Remember, every time DJ would be here, he'd always camera on, camera off. Exactly, just like that right there.
Yep. Camera on, camera off.
In fact, this is the longest I've ever seen him in one consecutive stretch. I've known him for like 3 years.
But I see we already had our first dab party tonight, so let's go ahead and throw that up.
I'm not arguing that one. That is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I mean, I could go get witnesses. I just don't feel like that. I don't feel like dealing with that.
Oh,
But
sorry,
I
got
see.
that.
I see we
I
have
see everything.
I see we have Wider Spawn was here earlier. Dave dropping the information about technical difficulties. Mega was here. Jen's in the house. We got Marcus here as well. Thank you guys for popping in. All right, guys.
Wahoo!
So DJ, Dre, y'all tell them what we're doing tonight.
So, do you want me to go ahead, DJ?
Yeah,
and
go
start
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the idea is this is session 0. So, session 0 for people that have never played Dungeons and Dragons, and a la if we were sponsored, and my player's handbook is actually right here. If we were sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, they believe that whenever you create characters to build harmony and to kind of get a session and go over things, it's called a session 0. So this is what this is. Now, usually everybody brings ideas to the table, and we, as the DM, I'm going to be co-DMing this with DJ because he has requested that I do that. So DJ and I will be splitting sessions on and off with each other. Maybe we haven't decided how many or if it's going to be every other. And the idea is going to basically be for this, giving you guys the understanding of what the setting is about. So this is going to be going over what you would expect to see, the continents, because this is not the same area as traditional Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
We're not in Faerun. We're not in the Sword Coast. We're not in any of those kind of prototypical Baldur's Gate, what you would expect to see. This is homebrewed, a la DJ and myself. And it's going to be the most southern part of, I know from my idea for how I did this is the most southern part of my world, and it is a group of island chains. So they're very large islands. Some of them, there's no continent. It's all to keep in theme with DJ's idea of it being tied to Sea of Thieves. So this whole area has got 5 major islands, and those 5 major islands are going to be where characters can come from. They're going to be where a lot of the adventures will take place. It will be where, we can shop for items, dock and port, or where, random adventures can occur. Now, the culture in this area is not typical to most, prototypical to D&D. Everybody thinks of Dungeons and Dragons. You think of classical European medieval fantasy.
Yep.
This is not in this area at all. It's so far south that it is more tied to Mesoamerican. So for anybody that doesn't know Mesoamerican, that is the Latin American countries and the Caribbean. So you would expect people to be dark-skinned, light-skinned, possibly even, very tattooed, tied to Mesoamerican. So Aztec, Mayan, Inca, Taino, Native American cultures. It's also tied to some ancient Greece. DJ and I kind of almost had an idea for going like full on Poseidon and everything else. And then, in like a 4-hour conversation, it switched and we liked the idea of going with a little bit of ancient Greece. So you're going to see some of that very typical large ore ships, large port cities, and, a lot of ties to the gods being involved. Very similar in Mesoamerican culture. The gods were always involved in, I don't want to say meddling, but they may meddle in the affairs of the humans and demi-humans of the realm. And then we added I wanted to add a little bit of an Asian flair. So we went with a Polynesian. So you're going to see Maori, Samoan, Japanese, Chinese, typical Asian, and even Polynesian characters being it. My character is actually Samoan themed. So my name is actually named Storm. My last name is Storm in Samoan, which is Afa. So every character can be slightly different, and the realm itself is kind of currently under a slight bit of duress. So the idea right now, and kind of what will set the stage for what's going on. In Sea of Thieves, we always know that there's the Meg, right? We deal with the Megalodon, the very big shark. Well, in this, we're not dealing with the shark. The shark is not just the biggest threat we got to deal with.
What happened
right
to the
now?
there?
I don't know.
So I added
Okay.
just to give you a basis.
He's showing the map.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, DJ. Thank you.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
showing the roadmap.
I saw the thing change, and I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something pop in my headset while I was
So
talking. So
I'm
I
just
didn't know.
showing like the names are not the same. It's just basic telemetry of what the world's gonna look like.
Gotcha.
Yes. So DJ named one of the port cities and gave it some life, which I thought was kind of cool because one, when he asked me, he says, "Hey Dre, I need you to name something," and I kind of went full on like ham and built an entire setting. So I said I felt it was unfair for him to not have a city
There
that
we
he
go.
would design.
Just
So he
a
did.
slight overachievement.
You know, it's so this is what you guys would expect us to when we travel. We are going to be traveling now. There is that larger green continent is probably going to be one of the larger islands, and these island chains are going to be some of the larger islands will be where you'll see us house the five major port cities that are going to be of where we're going to be adventuring. Some of them are named after real world places, which has no bearing on the real world place. I just wanted to theme it because I felt it was a good sounding name. So I'm going to start with the last setting, the last part of the thing I was talking about, which was the Greek setting. So you're going to go to Argos. Argos is going to be a predominantly Greek themed city. So you're going to be seeing typical arches and typical,
DJ,
like
if you
the
want to leave the
gods
map
are going
up,
to.
you can. Sorry.
Alrighty.
So it's going to have typical arches, and it's going to have the temples to all the gods and things of that nature. Argos is going to be a major port city. It is where everybody would travel through. So that's going to be, from on this map, the largest of them. So it's the furthest up to the northeast. That
Yeah.
large landmass, that's going to be Argos. Then the second largest island, which you can see, which is off to the west, so in the northwestern sector, that island's going to be Tulum. Tulum, which we all know, you traveled there. Awesome. It's a beautiful island. And it's in the Caribbean. And that's going to be very Mesoamerican. So that's going to be tied to a lot of what you're going to be seeing in Aztec culture, typical Aztec structures, Mayan infrastructure, things like that.
Gotcha.
So you'll be seeing, and similar temples to gods, but they're going to be more tied to here. And this is where the adventure actually starts. So for a lot of what the backstory is, it's actually going to start here in Tulum.
Gotcha.
Then when you go further south, directly south of Tulum, the small island at the very southern part of the map is going to be Corvair. Corvair is actually taken from the setting that is Eberron, but a lot of people don't use Eberron, and Corvair is a very pirate-themed European trade isle. So a lot of like the characters from the Forgotten Realms travel there. So exactly where that little cursor is, that's going to be Corvair. And you will be able to get lots of goods, black market stuff. It's headed by 5 pirate captains that all kind of keep. It's a haven for thieves.
Yeah.
So then there's a smaller island off to the far southeast, and that small island is called the Hollows. The Hollows is further southeast. Go to, yep, right there. You're that right there. Perfect.
Yeah.
That is the
The
Hollows.
Deathly Hollows.
No, it's not the Deathly Hollows like Harry Potter. The Hollows is a place where ships wreck a lot. There's been a lot of catastrophes in the area, not natural. Some natural, some unnatural. It is believed that the god of the storms, which in Mesoamerican mythology is called Tlaloc, Tlaloc has been causing havoc. And there's been attacks on ships of a large kraken and a large tiger megalodon attacking ships and people in the area.
Yeah.
And that's where people don't really want to travel to, but it's rumored that some major catastrophes are happening there. There is a city there, but the people live in fear because they don't understand why the gods have kind of forsaken them.
Yeah.
And then there's DJ City, which he can tell you about.
And before we do that, I just want to say hey to a few more people that have popped in.
Sure.
Hey, Casey, how are you? I see that you're working on a review tonight. She says she's reviewing Senran Kagura.
Oh, that's a good game.
And I see Blue Sasquatch is here. Whiter Spawn, I am feeling okay. I've lost my voice almost, so if I sound a little quiet, guys, that's just because this is about as high as I can get it tonight.
Without straining his.
Yeah,
throat.
without straining everything, yeah. And Dave
So
says,
no Michael
cracking,
Jackson
the
vocals
butt
for
cracking.
Aaron tonight.
Yeah, there won't be any, like, you know,
Major voice acting.
major voice acting. Yeah, none of that. None of that. This is about as high as I can get it if I really wanted to talk, but it's really hurting me to do this.
Yeah,
So.
don't be doing that. Don't
Yeah.
be doing
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't want you to strain.
Exactly.
I mean, you could just whisper.
ASMR D&D.
But Dave, I'll
I
never
roll.
dance again if
I roll
whisper.
it. I roll an 18.
You gotta
What
wear.
happens next?
You gotta be careful. It might be that careless whisper.
Yeah.
So sorry, DJ. You were saying DJ for your
Yeah,
city.
go ahead, DJ.
No worries.
Sorry.
So the name of the city is called Daggerdale. It's basically where the Roughnecks of the Roughnecks usually live. They don't give two craps about anybody. They just care about themselves.
So it's far worse than Corvair. Corvair,
Yeah.
there's law. Corvair, there is law. There is no
That-
law where in his city.
No.
I am the law.
It's survival. It's
Basically
the
survival of the
strongest.
fittest. Yeah.
Yeah, natural selection, all that.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of place.
I mean, it definitely is a place that, you know, a lot of the you know,
Yeah.
I guess characters that have had less likely, you know, walked a different path is a polite term we'll use, might be coming from there, or, you know, even if they haven't, don't really want to stay there too long, because you know, it's, think of it like I am the captain now sort of situation you're gonna run into there. So
And that's this location right here.
Gotcha.
It sounds like a place where if somebody lived there long enough, they'd have a few
Yeah.
eccentricities.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And-
most definitely.
Not that you
And
know
my
anything about that.
character had some accident in between those two locations,
And
but
has
you'll
some
figure it out through the story.
Story, yeah. We'll his so and that's gonna lead me into the next thing, which is gonna be talking about characters. We talked about setting, so you guys now have an idea of what the setting is. So when we talk about places, and we have maps of those places as well that we'll be putting up throughout the game that you guys will see, as well as the players, because DJ and I are both going to be playing. So how this will work is my character will be an NPC to the party when I'm DMing and DJ's playing, and when I'm playing, DJ will be the DM and his character will be an NPC to the party.
Gotcha.
So that's how we're going to be trading off. Or if it's something where I can't show up for a session, DJ and I will write our characters out, going to do something else, and we'll meet up with you at the end of the adventure. So that way there's no reason to write us in for the next adventure. DJ and I will figure all that sort of stuff out. But now we're going to talk about characters. So part of this whole session 0 is to build your character and to help everybody understand why you chose it, to go over your backstory a little bit, to fit into the setting. That's why I reached out to everybody individually and asked like what your concept would be, what your idea is, and how to fit you in. Because one thing DJ and I wanted to do was mesh our two DM styles. DJ's is story driven, but he's also very comedic driven, and I'm more story driven and, you know, kind of built world building. So the two of us mesh very well together. And in this instance, we wanted to make sure that not only our two characters meshed with the team, but meshed with the world. So you could understand how everything kind of fits in. So I know that Aaron had already worked on his character.
Yeah.
And since he is the stream owner, I'd like him to kind of start with his character. And since I gave him a little bit of information on how to fit in, would you be able to do that now? Like kind of fit yourself in?
I mean, I
want...
already had my idea of how I fit in.
All right, perfect. Go right ahead.
So I created a character, and this is thanks to an Ailstorm song that I came up with this guy. For those of you who don't know, Ailstorm is like one of my favorite like pirate metal bands. They wrote a song called Fanny Baws about a fearsome pirate. And so I went with a dwarf fighter who, long story short, basically, let me see, where do I have his backstory at? Well, I got to figure out D&D Beyond again. It's been a while since we've messed with this, and
Yeah, no worries.
yeah. But anyway, so long story short, he's a mountain dwarf. Kind of grew up in the mountains and figured that was boring for him. He didn't want to be stuck, in the mines, living a boring life, not doing the same routine. So he made his way down to the coast, and came across a group of pirates, joined their crew, and has now ended up here after sailing for several years. But if you need more about him, he's probably about 4.5 feet tall, has green eyes, big red beard, wearing a kilt, like the whole 9 yards. He has a very thick Scottish accent that I would normally do, but because I've lost my voice, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a rough one to do when your throat's all messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah. 'Cause you have to have that, bro.
That's bad.
You
You gotta have that
to
growl.
stretch your letters, and it's just not easy
Don't
to do.
don't try. Don't
Yeah,
try.
it
Don't
hurts,
try.
it hurts.
Don't try.
Yeah, I wish Drew McIntyre. We could always get audio from YouTube for you and overlay Drew McIntyre's accent over it for you if we need to.
Yeah.
No, what we do is we take Robin Williams' Scottish accent, run it through AI, and just have it do that.
That would be hilarious.
Robin Williams' Scottish accent is
Yep.
amazing.
No, we
Yeah, it is.
need
It
an
was.
AI filter for him.
Yes.
That'd be great. So that's the type of character that when we found out what his character was, DJ and I were like, how does that fit into this setting? So a character that would be like him would have been from further north on the mainland, and how eventually he was brought here. And
Yeah.
this is where a lot of pirates will. This is where a majority of the pirate activity happens. Eberron's a little further north, hence why you have a lot more activity up there. But a lot of pirate activity, this is the haven for where you're going to see it. So I like the concept. I love where it works.
Yeah.
So now, I know Dave, we had just started working on his concept yesterday. So I'm going to give Dave a little bit of time to let him think on it unless he's ready. But Noah, were you ready to kind of talk about your guy yet or no?
Well, I know I gave you the cleric concept, and I wanted to still run with that fisherman background,
Which I like.
but I thought about maybe a quasi-religious character that maybe doesn't fall under cleric or paladin.
Which actually would work very well within a setting like this where it's very polytheistic. So,
Right. So
it definitely could work.
yeah, so I still want to run with that same basic concept. I just want to change the class, and I couldn't decide on a race,
So
or
For-
species, whatever.
that's fine. Racers,
They're calling it now.
yeah. So if you hear me
That
make a lot
thing
of
that they're
comments,
saying.
exactly. So like
Yeah.
a lot of with the new rules for Wizard of the Coast, they've changed it from race to now species because they're trying to be more cognizant of people. I guess that found it offensive for race. I mean, I don't, but I guess I understand. So
I'm
think
gonna bite my tongue on that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to even go in there. We can have a whole conversation about that whole argument from several other D&D things that they've had issues
You can
with.
have that conversation, just not on my channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, races that you would see, there are some aquatic versions. There are aquatic halflings, and there are aquatic elves. If that's something that would like kind of suit your fancy. I didn't know if Triton might be something kind of cool because they live in the ocean and they're kind of amphibious, so you can live
Well,
on land or in the sea.
I have considered in the past a Triton and a Sea Elf. In fact, I even made a Sea Elf Ranger once that I ended up scrapping. But and then I think I told you about the Triton Paladin that I made.
Yes.
So, but I mean, I had considered like one of those aquatic races
Yeah.
All right.
before. So I just haven't like this whole. I'm very indecisive when it comes to getting
Well,
characters
there
made for a
are
campaign
a lot
on a deadline.
of races, a lot of species
Yeah,
for this portion of the story that you can choose from.
right.
Exactly. Like we were able to kind of narrow down ones we felt like wouldn't fit in. Like we both agreed centaurs would not fit the campaign setting.
Nah,
You know, like
I feel any kind of tour or well,
yeah,
would
minotaurs would work more on Argos. Like they would live on land. They wouldn't be running travel on boats. But
Mhm.
like a centaur, we both agreed were like
Oh my
kind of
God.
things that you would not see. You know, a four-legged horse body with two arms being on a pirate ship.
It'll be like a very rare thing if there is.
yeah,
If they're exactly like they would have been captured and put into bonds and shackles. I'm gonna leave it at that because I know there's certain
Yeah.
words we can't say for the algorithm.
Hey
So
guys,
bonds and
guys,
shackles.
I know.
I'm gonna make you laugh here real quick. I was looking at the chat, and Jen was kind of catching Casey up on this. She said that I was gonna be a Scottish guy turned pirate. It's a Scottish dwarf turned. It's a dwarf turned pirate. That's what he kind of looks like right there. Just to kind of give you a heads up. It's kind of tiny. You can't see that. I would add the image, but it's actually on my phone. And they were like, "Wait,
Well,
Noah's gonna be a
The
mer
camera's
dwarf."
not up, so we don't see it.
Oh yeah,
I
y'all
saw
can't
that.
see it, but yeah, I've got it on the stream.
I'm gonna be a mer something apparently.
Yeah, so Noah's going to be a mer dwarf, is what Jen said. So a sea lion, a walrus, or a leopard. And Casey goes, or a leopard seal.
Oh man, you don't want to be anything that's
Mm.
prey. I'm gonna tell you, you don't want to be a
Yeah,
prey animal in these
not on
waters.
this one.
I'd rather, if I was gonna be any kind of anything like that, I'd probably just be a walrus,
Cuckoo.
fat and lazy in my seaside cove, just eat fish all day. Screw it, whatever. Sounds like a great life.
Now, since I know that this is the opportunity for you, Noah, to actually work on that side of things. So if you do
Right.
want Chad, this is an opportunity. Help him make that decision. If he wants to be a dwarf, you know, it may be something he was interested in. If he's looking at more going towards
I'm looking
character
at chat
subtype.
now. I'm looking at chat right now. So
So Chad, throw some ideas at him. He's
Somebody
willing
wants to throw-
He's willing to take them.
I have
Let's
the
help
thing
make
pulled up
the
and we're-
decision.
If not, put a poll up.
That'd be good too.
I-
Like,
I thought we
think
didn't want
all
any
the- I
dancing
think
tonight.
with all the choices, that would take a long time to make that.
So
Fighters
wait,
Fund, you
I
gotta-
would- I have an idea for this though. Like we would do the poll, like say Triton, Mer Elf, Mer Halfling.
Well, let's just ask the chat, and we're gonna do it in order of how the process goes now. So instead of picking the species first, we pick the class first, then the background, then the species. You know, one
Okay,
step at a time.
All right, so I like Noah's idea for this. So Noah's saying,
If
for you
Aaron's
guys
down.
here,
Yeah, I'm down.
If-
I'm down.
all right, so I like this too. This is kind of a cool way to build a character, very different. So he's asking for you to pick from one of these quasi-religious religious classes. So I'm going to put the classes that have a religious tide right in the chat now. So
Well,
that'd be-
I
Just
would
put a
say-
number next to them.
I would say a class that is not cleric or paladin, because those are clearly religious classes.
all right,
So I think maybe along the lines of monk or sorcerer, because, you know, we have divine souls and way of mercies, all that. We have isn't there a bard class that could technically be considered quasi-religious?
there is
bard
there is
subclass?
a bard that does there is a bard subclass in 2014, so it's legacy now.
Oh, it's
But
24.
you'd be able to.
Okay,
Well, we would allow it. We're allowing
Yeah.
legacy.
Okay.
So Noah wants to do karaoke, is what I'm hearing.
Monk, sorcerer,
Yeah,
bard,
Not really.
ranger.
I think anybody deserves
Wider
to be
Spawn,
from-
you've got me, Dave, and Dre are all in glasses right now. So Dave is right
Yeah.
next to me, and then Dre is over there to the.
Noah
Right
wears
up-
glasses too.
Yeah,
so
Noah
four
wears
of
There's
us
a
glasses,
wear
banana
too.
with a blue cap. That's me.
Well, I'm spinny wheel right now, so I don't
Yeah,
qualify.
he's spinny dots.
Wait. His spinny dots are his glasses.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for 10 likes so far, by the way.
He's in a whirlpool. That's why his glasses are spinning.
So I put the classes that are not super religious, that are tied to more of an ideology. So for anybody that's interested, those are the ones that he would be looking to pick from.
And just do it 1 through 5 from whatever the list is. There.
Yeah, we're gonna go 1 through 5 in order. So 1 is monk, 2 is sorcerer, 3 is bard, 4 is ranger, 5 is druid.
So whatever
Right.
the most is on chat, that's what he'll be.
All right, so put the numbers in, folks. I want to see what your numbers are.
By the way, I gotta say, I'm liking the way Streamlabs is handling this right now too.
Is that sarcasm?
No, seriously.
Okay, I can't tell.
I mean,
'cause
you
you're
guys.
sick.
You guys heard how angry I was with it earlier, but I
Oh
mean,
yeah, you were upset.
Yeah.
But I
You're-
think I'm gonna try out. I think I'm gonna try out the thing Dave told me about next time.
All right, so folks in the chat, put in between 1 through 5, your choice. The most numbers that we get selected will be what his class will be. I love Noah being very open to this.
It's probably because his brain's fried right now.
Jen, if a
And
monk
doesn't
were a
wanna
fish, it
think-
would be a
Yeah,
monkfish.
probably.
Exactly.
Is
Not
that
an
a-
ultra
Is that a mish or a funk?
funk.
Funk.
I like that word. That's we are skirting that line, folks. It hasn't hit that hour yet, but we're definitely skirting that line with that one.
Is that a monk who likes to go to fish concerts?
No, that's just a fish that is a monk. It's kind of like a bonk, a barbarian monk.
All right,
but-
so Noah, we
but
have
for the
a
fish.
bard, so we are getting 3 from Jen.
Yeah, so Bard seems to be pretty popular right now.
Yeah, bard
He
seems
wants
to
you
be.
to sing songs.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him do it. I'm not gonna lie. I think this would be
Hey,
perfect
all
for
the
sea
sea shanties. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
he would be our
I
guy
mean-
playing the.
Hey, you know what? It's y'all's ears. If y'all wanna get early,
onset
if y'all-
acceptance.
no, if y'all want to suffer from tinnitus because of my terrible singing, then that's on you.
So
Okay,
It
here's
is
my
what it is at this point.
here's my thing. If he wants to do that, I'm okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
play, whose line is it anyway with the lyrics on? Oh God. So I like Bard. I think Bard, especially with a divine twist on it, there are 2 subclasses that I know of off the top of my head that are tied to some divineness that could work. So it'd be interesting to have that, and then sea shanties he could do on the boat. So I'm cool with that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stick with. In that case, I'm gonna
Pirate
go.
hoedown. Dave.
My gosh. Hold down on the boat, sink the boat, doesn't it?
Okay, so
Wait, don't wear clogs. Don't wear clogs.
okay, yeah. So I'm just
No,
going
he's
to
wearing
build
Crocs.
it. I'm just gonna build it because I have kind of an idea of what I want the character to be overall. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go through it and just build it right quick. Since
All right, I like that. So we got.
I
We got a
usually
bard?
do a very I'm maybe not full bard,
Heart
You're
part.
gonna go full bard.
maybe not full bard. Be
Well, 3 to get your subclass, right?
yeah, 3 to get the subclass, but then
Well, just think of
maybe
okay. So
not.
here, think of something that's gonna balance out, like with the because you don't want to go full. You don't want to be mad with your ability scores.
Mhm.
Because remember, you want to balance out your ability scores. So charisma is a bard's friend, and dexterity.
Yeah.
So just and those are like your 2. I would say don't when you think of your classes that pull from charisma, which would be your sorcerer, that would be your paladin, that would be your warlock. Those are the ones that pull from that. And now Hexblade is different too. We're not doing Legacy Hexblade. We're doing 2024 Hexblade.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm
You know,
I'm rolling 2024 bard, so
yeah, they're
I
way
won't-
better. I'm not gonna lie. 2024 Bard's way better than the old Bard. I 100% agree with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh man, this is gonna be weird. All right, this is gonna be weird. I'm already
I
seeing
love
the
weird to
weirdness.
begin with. So
No,
I'm already.
no matter
seeing-
what, it's going to be weird. Let's be honest with this
All right,
group.
now he was saying as far as the race that he was, or sorry, the species he was interested in playing. was a Triton. Now, for those that don't know, Tritons are pretty much Aquaman, full-on Atlanteans. They live under the ocean. They can breathe air as regular humans breathe air, but they live they live more times in the sea than they do on land. That was the first one. Now there is sea elves, and they're pretty much the same as Tritons, only Tritons are more militaristic in a sense. You know, they're more about conquering territory underneath the ocean and defending the sea, where sea elves are elf that were, you know, born of the sea, would be like they would sail on ships.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a sea elf. Actually, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just gonna stick with the sea elf.
Okay.
Yeah,
I felt like
this is
I
gonna be
figured
a
if I
more.
explained it would help.
Yeah, no. Like it actually did. Like your explanation was perfect. Like that's exactly what I needed. So,
Thank you.
So this dude, he's gonna be pretty chill, but also not. He has a weird dichotomy. I've explained it to DJ. He knows what I'm talking about. There's a weird duality with this character. So
which worked. So I like that, and you know, I like the fact that we're going sea elf, so he'll be able to, God forbid, folks. DJ and I have talked about this. If your character can't breathe in the water, that's okay. You better learn that Constitution is rounds. So your number in your Constitution is how long in rounds, in seconds, you can hold your breath under the water. So if you do not have certain magical items or the natural ability, exactly like DJ said, salute to the sea gods, because you are gonna go underwater. Just to give you that understanding.
also, I love that we also already have a dwarf on the team, so that's gonna be fun. I'm an elf. He's a dwarf. It's gonna be great.
Wait till you hear mine and DJ's. I think we are the perfect oddities that they're going to be the standouts. Like,
Okay,
not in the sense that we're going to stand out like you over you guys, but we definitely are different, so to speak.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be something special that you'll only meet once.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, after we discussed it, after DJ and I discussed it, I don't think you're going to ever be seeing a character like him again. You know?
Is he a cat dog? Let's be honest.
No. He's not a Mog. He's not his own best friend.
It's like Kraken. What Kraken?
What Kraken?
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're. So, when it comes to subclass, are we just sticking core rules, or are y'all doing expanded?
You can go into legacy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'm just sticking with the 2024 Bard. So I have the core rules and the expanded rules.
All right, so expanded rules, you can go when you click subclass. So if you click on Bard, and then when you go to your subclass, it'll give you the 4 options for 2024. But we're allowing you to go into Legacy, which is which from what I've heard, Legacy and Expanded are supposed to be the same thing. So you are able to pick from there and have those things without worry.
So the core is Dance, Glamour, Lore, and Valor. Expanded is Creation, Eloquence, Spirit, Swords, and Whispers.
You can go into Legacy, because I know Legacy has some good ones.
Well, that's the thing. Sticking with the 2024 Bard, it's not giving you the option to go into.
So if you want to stick with 2024, there are I think the Valor Bard and the Swords Bard are probably the 2 best bards that the game has created. Because I saw how they redid them, and they really buffed them very nicely, especially with a lot of the balancing that role play aspect as well as the combat aspect. But again, you know, it depends on how you want. If you're going to multi-class, what's that other class of 2 levels you're taking?
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm gonna pull the cartographer stuff from. So I said this character was also going to be a map maker.
All right, so you wanted to go? Do you want to go rogue? Like
I was
rogue.
I was considering rogue
because I think that would play more into that.
Specifically the inquisitive rogue, because because the proficiencies that I'll get from that class are insane.
Yeah.
So
I like that. The inquisitive rogue.
Because he wants to make a name for himself.
So
it would work.
I could just hammer out all the proficiencies and and the things
Yeah.
I need very quickly to get that
Yeah.
All right.
cartographer. So I'm gonna
rogue
go
would
Valor.
work.
I'm gonna go Valor Bard.
Valor's good. I think
Yeah.
Valor's a little bit better, especially if you're looking to go skill monkey.
Yeah, that's kind of
I think Valor would work better for you.
yeah. I've always liked Valor Bards anyway.
I
So.
do agree. Sword bards are good if you're doing heavy combat.
Yeah.
It depends on the build. All right, so that's cool. So we have a sea elf, bard, rogue, cartographer, extraordinaire.
Basically, the map maker of the group.
Yeah.
Yes, for those of you that don't know what a cartographer is, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Some people don't know.
A cartographer is a map maker.
Exactly. Like a cobbler is a person who makes shoes, a haberdasher makes shoes.
Yeah.
No, haberdasher makes the hat.
Oh, haberdasher makes hats. Yeah, cobblers make shoes.
Yeah.
Cobblers
I
make
apologize. Yeah, I forgot that. I always get those confused at times too. So
Cobblers
folks,
are
we're
also
keep-
delicious.
Oh yes, peach. Mm. So now that we have that character worked on, and we have an idea of what his character is, Dave did step away, so we're not going to obviously go to Dave. DJ, meaning we're going to have to stay a little bit away from part of your storyline because sort of that stuff that we have to reveal in character in session, as you and I discussed. So go in and discuss your class a little bit, and don't your species is human, right? Your species is human, correct?
More or less.
Okay, so his species
Have a good night, Wider Spawn.
For all intent and purposes, folks, his species is human.
Yep.
That's what you have to. So let's go from there, DJ. The floor is yours.
So, human, but there's a little twist to it. I'm not going to go in depth. Yeah, I'm not going to go in depth into it. Class is going to be a Dread Corsair.
Well, it's a ranger, so he's a ranger.
Yeah, ranger. Subclass is Dread Corsair. Yeah.
So think Johnny Depp pirate, folks. If you want to get an idea where he's very
I want to see DJ run around with a jar of dirt.
So
no,
DJ,
not that one. I'm going to be more of, I'm going to say Captain Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So yes, so the look, DJ has discussed it with me, and the look is very Salazar. So think of a typical Spaniard pirate. You know, like that long black hair. But I'll let DJ go with the rest of it because when he described it to me, it was awesome. So I'm gonna leave the floor to him.
Yeah. There's a little twist to him, but that's further down in the story. But I'm gonna be before and after that accident that Captain Salazar has. Gotcha. If you guys watch the movie, you guys know. But if you don't, you have to wait till we play out our story.
And Jen, just to address those are Europe. I know Blackbeard was technically not a European pirate, but they're all European-based characters. So we were sticking more non-European with the concept. So characters like Peg Leg Pete and Captain Hook, Blackbeard, they don't really exist in this sort of setting. Characters that may look like them, themed around them, may be people that they would interact with and see. But we wanted to stay as far from a European concept as possible. It was more of a challenge as a DM for myself and for DJ doing this, because for me, I mean, I'm a historian by trade, so it was easy for me to know the stuff, but it was different for me because I did not know a whole lot about pirates in other cultures, so it was very fun to do that research. And when we did, it was a lot of very, very different.
Yeah, and it kind of throws you back for a loop for my character.
Oh yeah, his character is going to be definitely be throwing people.
He is.
So, yeah. So like I said, he's gonna look and pretty much be a human, for as far as what people need to know, and he's going to be your ranger. So we've stayed very combat heavy, a lot for this campaign. A lot of very different, not healing, which for me scares me. as a DM because when you don't have healing or a person who heals, so once again when we don't have
I'm
spellcaster,
just going to eat the
like
bait.
DJ laughed because I said, damn it, DJ, no one's playing a freaking wizard, no one's playing a freaking cleric, you're killing me. And he's like, well, Noah may, and I was like, okay,
Hey,
cool. Then
Destination
Noah.
Stone.
So then I said, okay, so down to me. My character idea originally has changed dramatically from when I first started because I heard everybody else's. I wanted to build off of everybody else.
To make you feel better, I am adding a healing word and lesser res. So
Well, thank you.
just to have something there.
I feel so much better hearing that from you. Seriously, you don't know because it scares me.
I have a little bit of something. It's not my main focus, but I gotta have something. So
my character is not the ones that you have to worry about, but everybody else's.
Yeah, my character. Well, my character is different. And I'll explain why. While originally the concept I was going to play a gnome druid.
We were all going to be little people.
That was the original idea, and my gnome druid was going to be themed to be like Maui, like from Moana, where he was going to have a scimitar that was going to look like a shark tooth. I was going to be fully tattooed, and I was going to do exactly like Maui. Then I heard people were picking different races, or different species, and I was like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna fit. Then there was no healing, and I was like, so I can't be the tanky druid I want to be. I got to be more of a healing druid. And I said I still got to stay healer, but I need to make sure I can hold my own.
Have a little bit of that flavor.
Exactly, and I still wanted that flavor. So I decided to go completely opposite end of the spectrum. Instead of being 2 feet 6 inches tall, as my character was supposed to be, now my character is 8 feet 340 pounds. I'm a Goliath druid monk. I'm of cloud giant lineage, so storms, and my character is very Samoan in his name, Akamu Afa. Afa is Samoan for storm, and Afa was actually tied to something in wrestling that I love because Afa was part of the Wild Samoans, the head shrinkers in wrestling. So and he recently just passed away. So big shout out to him. I wanted to kind of pay a little homage to that. So Afa is my character's family name. But as a cloud giant, fully 8 feet tall, fully tatted out, druid monk, I live on the seas. So I basically have like a little kind of, think of like Moana and Maui. I live on a boat. I fish. I live off of my boat. I barely go on land. And when I come onto land now, it'll be because of the adventuring I'm going to be doing with the team. But I've lived my life as a sailor on the seas, a wayfinder, so to speak. So I've, got tattoos and scars. I have a trident as my main weapon. My brother actually helped me come up with that idea. He says, if you're gonna go full Samoan, think of Aquaman, bro. Get a trident. I was like, that's dope. And then I found an awesome magical trident. So I was like, yes, I need that. So my character is going to be that sort of theme, So for anybody that was interested, that's what I'm going for. So,
Dwayne, I
felt
it.
like what happened?
Sorry. Dwayne said that if Kouldbayne, he thinks that I should play a halfling cleric named Erroneous Gibbons, and he said, then Jen said, "Go, you should do that, Dwayne. That should be you." And he goes, "Why would that be my name?" He said that I would be Dwinkle Clemens if I was a halfling.
Oh Lord, that's hilarious.
I love it. And Iz says he's interested in joining us maybe one day.
So one of the things is, and I would love to have you. I know your schedule and you're young, is very erratic, and it's hard when a person that can only play once, and then shows up very little again, 6 months down the line. It's very hard to write you out and then write you back in. So if you can keep a consistent schedule of showing up once a month when we play, how we can play, it's a lot easier for DJ and I to keep you in the story and keep you playing.
Yeah.
But if you cannot be consistent, one of the things that, and it sits on me and DJ too. If we couldn't be consistent, we wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure your level of consistency is far more than once. And then 6 months on the line, you come in. We can't, it's got to be Sundays, the Sunday that we all agree on, and we play and going forward. So if you can do that, we will add the consensus across the whole table, and then you're more than welcome to join up. So that's and we're going to close it out. Too many people requires too much role playing, too much for combat. A smaller group, easier to work with, especially when the DMs are NPCing one character and playing as one. So it's a lot easier for DJ and I to slot ourselves in and out. So we're on the team, but we're not gonna use our knowledge of helping anybody.
Yeah, I
so
got you.
Stuff goes south. It's all because we made bad decisions. As a whole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that now. Like I've done this before, and I couldn't believe we actually TPK'd an entire party because the players and even myself made a bad decision. So it happens now, and that was years ago. So Dave, I know that we had talked yesterday, and Dave's character is very interesting. And
we'll see. I've been thinking.
Okay, well, tell me. Can I say your original concept first before you tell me your new concept? Okay. So Dave's original concept that he and I discussed yesterday was Cole the Conqueror. So if anybody has ever seen Kevin Sorbo play the role, and he was Hercules, and he was going to be a barbarian, the guy that's broad, like I wear loincloth and boots and I go into battle, and I felt like that would sit very well coming from Argos.
And he was technically a pirate in that movie, in the beginning of the movie. So
exactly. So we were like, oh, great. And then Dave's like, well, I want to make him a cat, like a cat man. And I was like, we could do that. I'm like, that works. That sounds really cool. Yep. And now Dave hears all this, and you have a different idea. So Dave, the floor is yours, please.
Well, I still want to have that kind of barbarian type story. I've been thinking about like the backstory for him. Okay,
go ahead.
His village was wiped out because his majority of his village did not believe in the gods. Did not believe that gods were just anymore. So the gods struck out his village, including his family, and he's that's why he's a wanderer now. That's why he's a sailor. That's why he's a pirate. His name
have a vengeance idea? I'm curious, just to ask a couple questions because I love the idea. Is he a person who has a vengeance similar to Kratos, where the gods have angered him?
I wouldn't say he has a vengeance, but anytime he can stick it to the gods, he will. Okay.
All right. So D&D has an interesting concept that I want to ask you. That means that if your character, and I want to say, I think DJ knows where I'm going with this. So if your character does not believe in the gods, which is fine, you're very much, and I'm all for that. It just means we cannot resurrect you at a temple. It means we have to go visit like a druid circle, a college for the bards.
I understand. It limits.
College for bards, my you
characters.
say?
Do you see where I'm going? Druid circle, college for bards.
I might be able to. Well, no, that's not for his character though. That would be only for mine.
No.
Or is that for his too?
He doesn't believe. Remember, his character doesn't believe in the gods. So magic is not tied to the belief in the gods.
My character is not that he doesn't believe in the gods. He doesn't have faith in the gods.
Thank you, Whitey.
He believes that they exist.
Fair enough.
He feels that they're unjust and petty.
I feel that in my soul, bro. Seriously. Like, you have no idea how much I relate to that.
By the way,
oh my god.
His name is Ronan Caecilius.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like
this.
Did
you say Ronan High Helios? Like he wears high heels?
Ronan Caecilius.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That makes better sense.
It's from two very cool characters I always thought were awesome. Ronan Dex from Stargate Atlantis, who actually was played by
Jason Momoa.
Yes. And Caecilius was actually the first appearance of Peter Capaldi in a Doctor Who story. He played someone who was living in Pompeii, and his family was actually saved by the Doctor when Pompeii went explode. So I was like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's make him Ronan Caecilius.
I like this.
Give him a little bit of
I
that
like
Greek
it.
flavor.
See, folks, for you all that don't know, when you do these session zeros and player characters design their story the way Dave just did, it warms the cockles of my heart because
Yeah, it does.
it's more personal. It's now his character's personal. It's not the idea that we gave him or we worked on. It's all him, and that for me as a DM, that makes me happy. I love hearing that, Dave. So, what's your class now? Let's talk about your class. What are you thinking?
Oh, it was the choices that were listed in the chat earlier, right?
Oh no, those are for
Rangers.
Noah. Those are for
Noah.
Noah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those
So
were
what
mine.
do you want to? Okay, do you want to? Here's the question: do you want to be more combat driven, or do you want to cast spells?
Combat.
Okay, so let's go down the list.
I'll be
Folks.
back
I'm gonna
in a
put the
second.
list in the chat.
All right.
All right, let's go with good old fashioned. Let's start in alphabetical order. And if I'm wrong with the alphabetical order, my
And-
wife will be the one to judge me.
If you're wrong with alphabetical order, I may have questions.
Well, hey, listen. You can have questions. I teach social studies, not
Not
English.
English.
That's the wife's job, not mine. All right.
All that Dre knows is good English and bad English. And
Oh
Spanish.
yeah. Especially there's Spanglish.
I would hope he also knows his old English as well.
I do know some old English.
There you go.
I do, and I know Chaucer for Shakespearean English.
Oh man, they taught you Chaucer for Old English. Man, mine was
Oh yeah,
mine was
that was
Beowulf.
college.
I had to go through Beowulf.
Mhm.
All right, barbarian, fighter, paladin, ranger.
That might explain why I have a barbarian complex.
Get your book, Dre.
You know, I realized, DJ, that there's only
Barbarians
four
have more
fighter.
fun.
There's only
Exactly.
four fighter classes.
Yeah.
All right, so Dave, you're gonna go through 1 through 4. So chat. We are going to go for Dave. He's going extremely combat oriented, and there are only 4 specifically combat driven classes. 2 that are focused mainly on combat, which is the fighter and the barbarian.
Dave, I'm feeling a barbarian for you, dude. Seriously.
Hey, hold on.
That's the
hold on.
original idea.
Hold
I,
on.
I have a caveat to this list. I would like to.
Why do you have a giant guinea pig, Noah?
So, what about assassin rogue? Is that not fully combat driven?
No, because that's a rogue. Rogues have low hit dice, low hit
Yep.
points.
Yeah,
This
but
is-
it's
this is-
assassin, which is like
A
that just
subclass.
maxes all their damage out. That's
Rogue-
why I say assassin rogue specifically, because I know there's like the thief and then the arcane trickster
It
and all
does,
that.
this from me, from what he said, I don't see Dave going. If the gods angered me, as to they killed my family and I have no faith in them, I feel barbarian. I would go zealot barbarian, because a zealot is tied to
Okay,
where there
fair
is no
enough.
faith.
Jen just
You
got
know,
a
there
great
is no
idea.
faith,
Fair enough.
I'm skeptical of the gods.
and that's actually just tied into Vox Machina season 3 with the whole thing that just went through there.
I
you know,
haven't
where she
watched
actually-
it yet.
Yeah,
So-
I'm still
Okay,
season
I'll stop. I'll stop. And
Well, I've
anything.
watched 1 and 2. But I haven't
So
seen
a paladin that loses their faith or questions their faith is considered an oath breaker,
Mhm.
which means they still can cast spells. They just don't believe in their faith is shaken. So
the power that once gave them their holy abilities is twisted into
Yeah.
something darker.
so they still have access to their powers, but it's just different. And I think that kind of can show something interesting. I picture that for you, David. I'm gonna say paladin for me. I think that sounds really cool.
What's breakdowns just really quickly? What exactly is paladin?
Okay, so a paladin is a holy warrior that is a divine soldier of their faith. So when these are people that are driven by their deity, or actually an ideal. As per 2014 and 2024, you can be driven by an ideal similar to like a samurai, where an ideal is what draws your power and draws you to. Your lack of faith in the gods, can play into why you believe into an ideal, like loyalty to your family, loyalty to your to the
Okay.
land or
So
something like
so
that.
I'm going to be a paladin who puts his faith in people and not the gods.
That
That
is actually
that
awesome.
Yeah.
that's my thought on it right now.
So your
Ooh,
ideal
okay.
would be family and like unity, like friendship and family, right?
Yeah. Or if I see someone in trouble, that kind of thing, like I'll put my sword to that cause,
So that's okay. So
even if
we're
it's
talking two
against the
different.
gods.
So we're
Yeah.
talking two different ideals. If you're talking
Okay.
family and friends, that's one. Justice is another ideology. I'm asking you, which of the two ideologies do you want to be pulled more towards?
I think justice.
That works. Okay.
That works.
Vengeance. That's a
Oath,
vengeance paladin, and an oath broken vengeance paladin. That's
He's
a
Batman.
freaking awesome. That's Batman,
An-
Punisher.
an
Yeah.
oath, an oath broken vengeance paladin with the folk hero background.
I like that. That is. I mean, Noah just said everything that was in my mind. Get out of my head, Noah, because that idea flowed right from there.
Dre, you know what I'm doing later tonight, right?
Noah
I gotta
gonna do it
make a
later.
theme song for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking this is a good character concept. Now, what would your species be? Would you still want to be a cat person, or would you want to be?
I think I'm going to be human.
Wow.
I was gonna say if you still wanted to be a cat person, I actually have an Oathbreaker paladin that's a Leonin that I have built that I can send you for inspiration if you want.
Is I'm just thinking like, in
It's
a
up to
way,
you.
reason why I was thinking human was it'd be more of a challenge for a human in that kind of a world.
Well,
Yeah.
humans are always and for just for giggles and stuff in the party. For anybody
Craps
that
and
does
laughs.
not know this, yeah, for craps and laughs. Most players don't choose human. Human is actually one of the species people choose the least because of the fact it doesn't have the ability to see in the dark. You don't have any other special abilities except for you get a bonus feat as part of your origin, and that's it.
If you
Like
get the right feet, then you get dark vision.
oh yeah, that's true. You
I'm
can take
just
Fey,
saying.
you take Fey ancestry to get the dark vision. I know, trust me. I've seen the custom lineages, Noah. I know I know where you were going with that.
I wasn't gonna say
Somebody
anything else.
great grandma could have had messed around, and there was somebody that was there. We all know. So,
I mean, we got the draconic bloodline sorcerer from somewhere, right?
that's very true.
Probably came from a
So-
bard.
You know what? I'll go with the with the cat lineage, the tiger lineage we were talking about before.
Oh, the Tabaxi, because
Okay.
Tabaxi are very different
Yeah.
than Leonin.
Yeah.
I like
the-
Leon. They're very different cultures. So Tabaxi are more like,
No
I
man.
almost, Tabaxi are more nomad, which is what your character's becoming now. So that can kind of sit in with that Thundercat-ish look that I know you said you were going for.
Yeah.
And, I kind of like that idea. And that kind of rounds out an interesting team. If you guys don't realize, I mean, we have a human Oid. I'm going to call him that because DJ, we can't discuss DJ till we're in game. So we have Noah, a sea elf. You have a Tabaxi, which are pretty common. They're very
Dre, I
common.
thought you called him annoyed. I was about to say, wait, like the Domino's guy?
No.
That might fit him.
And then we have the dwarf, and you have myself. So you literally have on all ends of the spectrum very different groups of people. Now, how do you get all these people together? DJ and I came up with the perfect way. When we actually start in session one.
We all meet in a tavern.
No. That's listen. I have not been DMing
Always a raging kegger.
for
let's
all
be
these
honest.
years to do that. We are
taverns are more
That is the most boring.
That's
That's the
that's
most
the old
boring.
story.
That's like the original D&D. We're going to be working, folks. We are all meeting and starting as we all know each other because we all are shipwrights. Yes, shipwrights. Which
What if
guess
I'm a
what a
ship
shipwright
wrong?
is? We're gonna be ship wrong. You're gonna be shipped wrong, shipped off. They'll ship you off the boat. That's how they'll do
Wait.
it.
What if we started in a tavern that's on legs?
That doesn't
What?
work for the scenario and the setting.
Yeah.
So as cool as that could be,
You get the reference.
You mean like a Pierside
Yes.
Tavern or something?
yes,
DJ
yes.
gets the reference. Okay.
I get the reference. I get the reference.
Okay.
So the way that this is going to go is going to start for everybody, so we can all kind of know
Start
where
judging,
we're
but
going to
Auto
be.
Quest is in the tavern.
So for everybody that is
I like that, Jen.
got like a fisherman style or something tied to the sea, we all work as ship hands to some level, shape, or form. I'm going to be, and this is kind of ties into your roles that we've all done in Sea of Thieves. DJ's character will be in the crow's nest because that's where DJ always likes to be whenever we play Sea of Thieves. I am going to be cooking the food.
It's always good when you hear DJ in the crow's nest too start laughing because you know he shot somebody.
Exactly. He shot somebody or he knows what's going to be coming. Me, I'm going to be cooking the food, making sure people aren't throwing up from eating raw fish, raw meat, because that always
grubs.
happens. Or grubs, because I've cooked grubs too.
I feel like DJ's character and mine are gonna kind of fight over the crow's nest from time to time.
You
I am
guys-
the map maker.
So
And-
for the ship itself, there's 2 different locations for the crow's nest.
See?
Oh,
His
okay.
and hers.
Multiple
Yeah, it's a
crow's
large.
nests.
This is a large ship. We're on a.
So I'm
We
the guy
would
just
be
carrying
on-
the gunpowder barrels, waiting for one of them to explode.
We're
No.
successful. Like we're successful pirates.
And
Now-
you're smoking while you're carrying
Well,
them.
we're no. We're not successful. We're not the ones. We work for somebody else.
No.
Because-
But I mean, we have a ship with 2 crow's nests. That's
I had
pretty.
to laugh at this.
That's
Jen
not our
said, just
ship.
don't give DJ a gator and ask him to
We
We
cook
are
cheese."
Not
on
our
a
ship.
ship with 2 crow's nests. That's still
Yes.
pretty impressive. That's
It
we
is,
have
because-
2 crow's nests. That's the point I'm trying to drive home.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
So DJ and I discussed this, and it was kind of like
Rich.
I've always hated players and DMs that give everything to the players. Like if we start off with everything, we never get to work for anything, and it kind of ruins the fun. So here, we have no vested interest in this ship except that it keeps us alive and it pays us. So we have our jobs, we
keeps
do
us
our
fed.
job. It's like we are working here. What we're aspiring as the group of us is that we've met here, we've traveled, we've broken bread with each other, we've built that bond. So we all know who we are and we know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
To
But
some
the person
extent.
to some extent, nobody knows, like, we don't know DJ's full backstory. We
Yeah.
know, like, who we are, we know of each other, and we become friendly with each other. The person who is the captain of the ship, we're going to leave for that to see. Now, firearms. Firearms are not something everyone is proficient with.
Yeah,
I
I
know
don't
DJ
think I
won.
would be one.
DJ and I talked about it. You have to either spend the feat slot to earn the proficiency,
Yeah.
because 1, they're not cheap, and 2, people aren't going to like the realism we did put in this game. Meaning we are by the water. Gunpowder gets wet. Guess what? You ain't firing your gun.
Yeah.
So unless it's magical, that's the way DJ and I said that the only way to get around it will be magic. So beyond that, it's going to be your gunpowder goes overboard, or you get wet, and you don't have a
That's
bag
it.
of holding. You don't have a bag of holding. That's where we kept it. So that we wanted that level of realism. And there are there cannons? Depends on the ship that is being used. This is an ancient Greek vessel, so it's not going to have cannons. So this is there are some firearms on some members of the crew, and it's mostly the higher up members, not like the lower members. So people and just to give an idea of level, like there are leveled NPCs that are just shipwrights, that all they do is work the ship. And then there's named NPCs like us, players, that are going to be on the ship that carry like muskets and pistols, flintlocks, and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So we're not going to when we encounter a ship, and it does happen, where there is cannons on, that's a whole different ball of wax to deal with, because some of us have never seen it or have never interacted with it, or as pirates we probably have, and we've want to they're a value, they're an asset to make sure you get. So just remember that when we're looking at bringing in gold or like looking for items to grab, because I know a lot of times we as characters like to do that sort of stuff, like what do I see, what can I take? Well, if you have a very large group of guys that can carry things like my character can, I can carry like a cannon on my back, and we can now sell that for like 20,000 gold.
Yeah.
So things like that are something that we can do as a team, and it's something that I wanted us to have that level of realism, because nobody goes after the cannons when they're at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
We're trying
So
to keep it to semi-realistic ventures that
So
are dealt in the ocean.
Gotcha.
yeah, and also we're not. I know we always typically defer to like Davy Jones and Blackbeard. Those pirates are not names you're gonna like. If you say that in
Yeah.
character, we're gonna look at you and be like, "Huh? He doesn't have a beard."
Yeah.
Like those are things that you got to think in setting. So when you're playing your character, think to the setting. Think if you see pirates and you see the flag. We're gonna be playing in a setting that most of us have all taken. Like my background is sailor. I took the sailor background, so you're gonna know how to look for flags. You're gonna know to pay attention to certain things, how the wind is gonna go. So all those aspects of Sea of Thieves are going to be factors that DJ and I will be interacting with you guys as part of the role-playing experience. So you will need to make checks, in nature and in piloting a ship. I did not take any of those skills. I will tell you that now. My character has 0 skill in piloting a ship. So
I'm probably the only one that has it.
I think you are. I think you are. Maybe Dave's making his character. He could expend the skill slot if he wants.
Yeah.
Noah, I think, would probably take it because he's a skill monkey. And maybe
Yeah.
KBG can have it as well. But my character, 0 donut. Just letting y'all know that now. Don't count on me to steer the boat. If I'm steering the boat, we in problems.
Yeah.
For me, I'm
I just
gonna
make the
be-
maps and tell you where to go. I don't drive anything.
I love it.
for me, I'm the
I'm
oddball
GPS.
that knows a little bit about everything on the ship.
I'm just your GPS. I'm not the navigator.
So I love this crew. I love this idea of the group. Like I said, we're going to be starting out. DJ and I said we wanted to start this adventure kind of hot and getting into the situations kind of badly. So we're not starting off in Argos. We're not starting off in Tulum. Tulum is where we set sail from. We are going down to start in DJ City, and we're going to be traversing the seas in the southern part of the map, which is where, folks, as we have stated, there have been major attacks by 2 kaiju-sized monsters. And when I say boat sinkers, I'm not just crews don't return.
Gotcha.
That's what I want you guys to think. So people hear these stories is because they see broken ships in the water. You see like a sail like hanging out because the
Yeah.
boat's still just
Yeah.
sinking. It's dangerous. The waters may look beautiful and calm, but the way the area has been kind of a pestilence has been kind of laid on this area.
And there's always an eerie, I would say, fog in those locations.
Not normal. Very magical would be, I guess, the nice way to put it, DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Basically.
it's not a nature occurrence.
Gotcha.
So things like that for you guys to know that as you've traversed this area, you've heard of the Tiger Meg. Now you also have heard, and I should mention this, you guys have heard of the manta ray and the other shark. It's a basking shark. There are 2 other sharks which we have yet to name. They'll be named before the next session.
Bomb.
If you can see my face, I
can
hate
see
when
your
people
face.
say let's name it Joe. I want to name him Joe or Fred. That is the most lazy booking. I do not do that. I do my due diligence. We will DJ and I will name these characters, and we're naming them after like very big like Samoan style Polynesian. We're digging for names that don't just sound typical. So they're going to be a little weird. And the manta ray and the basking shark are the 2 other megalodons that they're the ones that save and salvage. So there is this push and pull between all 4 of those entities in the ocean: the Kraken, the Tiger Meg, the basking shark, and the manta. Like they're the ones that kind of keep the seas. Two of them keep the seas at peace. The other two are keeping the seas at war. And Talak, the god of the storms and sea, has kind of lost his way and is meddling more in the affairs of the world than he should.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the
It's-
setting and the scenario for you guys to walk into.
It's basically the god that's kind of pushing too far past its boundary of interfering.
And the other gods have not interfered because they don't understand why. Like, why is Talak pushing in? There are, for those of us that are divine, I'm a druid. Noah, you'll have some divine knowledge based on your valor school. And Dave with your paladin knowledge. The three of us will kind of have an idea that there are supposedly gods walking amongst the species and kind of trying to get information and trying to make moves. Typical to how they did in Greek mythology. You know, like Zeus would take a human form or an animal form. And that's very typical in like Polynesian culture and Mesoamerican culture, that the gods would take on a humanoid form to interact with the people. So that's kind of what's happening here, is that you're hearing in Tulum there's been talks of things like moves being made. And you know, it's a very, the times are tense right now, which for pirates that's perfect. That means it's time to get treasure.
Yeah, more booty.
Where's the treasure? Where be the booty? You know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for some aspects, we are allowed to dive into shipwrecks that are floating.
Yes, DJ and I did do that as typical to Sea of Thieves. There are areas of sunken shrines. So, Noah, you being a sea elf, my question for you is: have you lived more in the ocean community of the sea elves, or have you lived more on land?
Because that's going to take factor into the story.
I feel like I've been kind of nomadic. I would say, okay, I've been looking at this one mass of land, the Shrine Islands. What's the deal with the Shrine Islands?
They're not islands. Some islands do have shrines on them. When we say under the water, so like the Tritons, the sea elves, the sea halflings, and other aquatic races like the Kuatoa and other races do control those shrines. Some of them are cursed, some of them are not cursed, some of them are empty, some of them have been overtaken. So the reason we ask is because we just want to know if maybe you might have been, if your sea elf community, if you lived more in the water, because that can defer some information that your character would know a little bit more than the average Joe.
Well, I feel like if the Shrine Islands or whatever is like a religious place, I feel like I would have spent just as much time there as I did in my own community.
Okay,
so I would
that's fair
kind of
enough.
go back and forth through like quasi nomadic kind of thing. Like I'd spend
So-
a few weeks on the Shrine Islands, then I go back spend a few weeks.
So
on
right here, the Shrine Islands are partially underwater. I just have
Okay.
this map like this for
Okay.
It's
players
for
take-
visual aid. It's visual
Right.
aid.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm just asking you to tell me about those. So
yeah.
I can,
So at least like up to right here, all of that is gone.
okay. So it's really just the bottom
Yeah.
bottom bigger island that's left over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are other hidden aspects to that island. It's just we have to find out in the story.
Yeah, because it does play a role, because like my character is nomadic and I'm a druid of the Circle of the Seas. So my druid circle is the ocean. Like
Right.
other druids, like we meet in by the Shrine Islands to pray, to kind of discuss, you know, things with our particular circle. So that's why I'm asking, you know, to figure out with your character, because that means I would have interacted with you even before we, you
Yeah.
know,
I
before
would
we got on the
say-
boat.
I would say that it's realistic that we may have seen each other, but it would only be in passing because I would
course.
probably see
Yeah.
you and then I would dip out.
Because that's
So
that's the only island that is neutral besides all of them else.
yeah, so that's one of those before before my time on our ship, I was very much a solitary nomad. I had spent a lot of time to myself. I fished by myself. I did everything by myself. So I probably would have seen your order doing stuff on the island, and I would have just left the island without telling you. So just because I wasn't really into the interaction. Just like, yeah, it's fine.
There's also some things that
They're
you
doing
wouldn't be able
things
to
on the
see
south.
because of the fact that we also speak the Druidic language, so you wouldn't understand half the stuff that we do say.
Right. No,
Yeah.
but it's the whole fact of you just being there. I probably would have just looked over, seen you, said okay, and I would have gone. Like that would have been it.
Basically, like John
I
Wick.
would have gone back. I would have gone back to my community, and that would have been it. I would have come back a little while later, see if y'all
And
were
now-
there, because
and now-
I'd probably fish there. So
Gotcha. So, and now here's where we would say that DJ, your character Salazar, well, I'm gonna call him Salazar, even though it's not
Yeah.
his name. I'm gonna say so. Salazar, Ronan, and I don't know KBG's character's name.
Fanny Boz.
Fanny Boss.
I'm trying. I'm Fanny Boz, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I said it correct. The three of you would have been more akin to start on Argos because of the fact that you are races that are not really born of the sea, like myself and Noah's characters. It would be more for you guys to start on Argos. Definitely for KBG, being born probably either off Argos or living in the mountains on the actual island of Argos. So that way you could still technically be from this area. I would say that would be more akin, and you'd probably have, just so we can say we all start together, it would make more sense that we all have some faint knowledge of each other. So if there's any interest while we take this till the next game, till session 1, to have a little bit of different knowledge, like hey, Salazar and Fanny Boz and Ronan, maybe we're friends, maybe did hit a couple of taverns and had some fights, and and got into the typical brawls that we pirates do. Maybe you guys have a map that you're sharing with each other, and that's what led us onto the boat that we're going on. So it's kind of like the idea is I just want to make sure that we're all kind of having a faint knowledge of each other tied to our backstories, as well as how we're all going to meet and have built this time. Because I would say it's been about a month of us being on the larger ship that we are currently working for. So for that month's time, we've been kind of talking and learning a little bit more, and then stuff's gonna happen. We'll leave it at that.
Did we
and we did this.
Did we
Did we
lose
lose
Dave?
everybody?
Yeah, I
Dave?
think we lost everybody.
I'm here.
Okay.
All right, no.
Yeah, your camera went.
I'm
There we
still
go.
here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to think. We did do something else too. There will be something. I'm gonna call it apropos the spotlight. One thing I know as a longtime DM, players always want to do something cool. We always want to do a moment of doing something cool. And I know that when you have some personalities or whatever, it can always be big. And I've been on both sides of the table. And one of the things the DM of mine did was he would call it the spotlight. Like every session, and we had 12 players at the table, so it was a long time. But it would be it would give you an opportunity for that character to kind of showcase themselves, and they would have like that moment. So every session that we play, DJ and I are kind of working in an opportunity for each character to have that kind of it's not 10 o'clock yet, so I can't say poop moment.
Yeah.
So be ready to hear that, like, and you won't know it's gonna happen because it's not fun. It's gonna be something that in the moment it'll be worked in, and you'll know it's geared towards you, whoever we choose, and it's gonna be fair to get everybody to so no one character ever feels left out, or no one character ever feels like their voice is not heard. So it doesn't matter if you're brand new to the game or seasoned to the game. DJ and I are extracting ourselves from that. So within the first couple of sessions, each one of you will have one of those moments to kind of spotlight something tied to your story, tied to your character, tied to you personally, to give you that little personal touch to show that it fits to the greater scheme, of the puzzle.
So for right now, there is going to be one on probably towards the end of next session. It's going to be starting towards hinting.
Yes. So expect session 1. And DJ and I have yet to figure out who's going to run it. We're still in the process of figuring that one out. And then it'll trade off. So that's the kind of cool thing with co-DMing. No one DM feels that they have to hold everything to the story. So DJ will be running one session and then hand it off to me. And then I pick up the next session. And then our ideas and story are all tied to like DJ and I know the greater story. Like we know the end of the map. You guys are nowhere near that yet. So we're going to start building you guys up to getting to those tiers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking very forward to doing it. I know he is. We have a lot of fun ideas planned. It's been a long time since I've had that taste of doing something fun like this, because I haven't co-DM'd in a long time. So DJ's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and we both get to play with you guys, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks being on the other side of the screen and you never get into play. So we're gonna have both opportunities to play as well as do something. And folks, expect not only the unexpected, but expect characters can die. We are nowhere near the level of where you can get like a resurrection spell costs 10,000 gold pieces. Just to put that on the scale, and in this setting, 5 people can cast that spell.
Got
it's
a question
9th
from
level.
Casey. She wanted to know if there were going to be any sirens involved in this.
Yes and no.
It's
Dave and I.
going to be up in the air.
So
that one's going to be up in the air.
Yeah, like DJ and I kind of talked about mixing some of the cultural aspects tied to the sea. So expect a lot of mischievousness, but not comedic. Like, we don't want this to be like heavy, like slapsticky, like everything's a joke every game, because that gets boring, and it's not going to be too story driven where that gets boring. There'll be enough comedy at the right moments, and there'll be enough seriousness at the right moments. So just got to know how to balance out how you fit into it, because obviously seeing your teammate get impaled and then eaten by a megalodon, probably not going to be a moment where you're going to laugh at it, and but seeing someone get, harpooned in the buttocks might be funny, if it's our enemy. So, I mean, those are moments that we can laugh at. So that's where we're trying to make sure that there's a fair balance of the comedy as well as the action and the story, which is not ever easy by yourself. So it's a lot of fun to have DJ as my sounding board to bounce some of those crazy ideas off of.
And there is going to be an aspect of actually, I would say, like almost city building, but
there
not?
Is, yes. Not yet. We did discuss that there will be a point where we took what we did in the last game, where we kind of started off at 3rd level, 2nd level, getting a base to build. That's not happening yet, but there will be a point where we will find an uninhabited place and we will start looking to build a base of operations. And DJ and I have the rule sets for that. Thanks to DJ, he gave me access to the rule set, so I've read the rule set, so it's pretty fun. It will be something we can do as part of downtime and mixing it into the actual game itself. So be expecting some cool world building like that as well.
And there are going to be, I would say, somewhat seasonal times during this campaign.
Yeah, I would say that this is kind of the...
Are you dropping holiday DLCs?
No, not like that. It's going to be more on the worst side of things that shouldn't happen on the waters.
So yeah, like when you notice, like when we say it's like certain, like if you notice that the seas are very calm, that can mean something. If you notice that for several sessions, like 3 or 4 games that we're playing, that you notice that we say that the seas are very calm, nautically, you would know that there's something wrong with the weather patterns, which would be tied to the god of the weather and tied to the greater story. So there are going to be layers of things that you guys will be able to, again, be involved in and see how it affects. But we also know our place on the totem pole. You know, we are not at like that place that we're going to be going to meet these 20th level characters to go adventuring with them, because
Yeah.
I'm a red shirt to them. Like DJ and I had talked about, like they're red shirts. For those of you that get the
Yeah.
Star Trek reference, you know, Picard and they went on the away team. You know, you had 3 red shirts.
I'm wearing gold, so I'm good.
Exactly. You know, so just look at that. And also, when we talk about your stories, we like names. Exactly. Layers like onions. We want names. So if you guys have an opportunity to write down and give to and put in the Discord for us names of your family members or people of interest that you've met along the way, it helps personalize the experience for what we say. Like, not just some random pirate and then middle of the game, hey, KBG, remember that pirate that picked you up when you were like 13? What was his name again? You know, like we would have that name, so you would know already that person. You would know their shit by the way we describe things.
Yeah.
So be more personalized in writing stuff down and give us that stuff, so that way we can have that level of personalness to this campaign. Like Dave, you said you've lost faith in the gods. What gods did you lose faith in? You know, like we have a list. Pick DJs into my brains, and we can give you the list of the gods that would have been in that area that you were in, that you might have lost faith in. You know, Noah, you fish a lot. Do you fish and sell? Like, do you, as a bard of valor, like, you know, you are a knowledge bard, you know, so there's a lot of things we want you to kind of name the colleges, name your area, you can even pick an island. You can see there's several islands for you to pick from that you can say we're home. So give us that level of detail, and it helps us tailor it for you.
Yeah, and there are certain islands there that do have towers. Not ordinary towers, but they're going to be introduced later.
Gotcha.
And yeah, like, so there are, like, and when we say towers, think of it more like, what's the word we're looking for? Like forts, kind of similar to Sea of Thieves, like where pirates and these, you know, they'll be around. And that's going to be more for when we have our own vessel. We're not working for somebody else, when we're actually working for ourselves. So things like that will come into play. So the Sea of Thieves game, you know, Terror on the Tides, because we were thinking of names for. I always like to name games. So DJ and I came up with a great name for it. We were like Terror on the Tides. You know, that's the season 1, so to speak.
Yeah. So this is going to be the Roll20. It should show on Discord right now for you guys.
Okay.
Oh, Torment on the Tides. That's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
the Torment on the Tides.
Yeah, and it has the background. It has pictures of what you might see on this photo.
And think of the word torment. Like, I want you to focus on, like, DJ and I did not just name this flippantly. Like, we took weeks to come up with this stuff. So this is something that really is very personal for me and DJ. And I think it's really cool that we named this, we themed it. This is the first time I've done something this level of depth since my Asian campaign that I ran 20 years ago. So that's how fun this is, that we're looking to make you really feel something.
8-year-old Dre.
Oh crap, that happened.
Yeah, pretty much DJ and I said, I told him I recalled like sessions, like Noah, when you put the hole in the boat with Shatter, like that's an oh crap moment, right? Those are oh crap moments, like you're sinking the vessel, like seeing that green dragon that we saw, and then the Aarakocra cat, like, it's gonna turn on me and they can knock me out the sky. Oh crap moments. These are the moments that we want to give you guys as the players and as the audience to kind of make you feel like, oh man, like the players are now really like, there's something we're trying to push through to get to that next point. Very similar to Vox Machina.
Yeah, so it is going to happen at least once a session or every other session, depending on how far we get along the story. or during that session. How far?
Exactly. And like I said, we kind of already mapped the first 2 sessions already. It's just deciding on who's going to be running the first game and second game, and then we're going to kind of leave it to like choose your own adventure, but in the sense that we know DJ and I know the end pattern. So there is a little bit of freedom, but we do know what the end game is. So how do you feel? Like, I guess for you guys, and this kind of goes more to Noah, to Aaron, and to Dave. How do you guys feel hearing this? Like, how do you guys feel about your characters? Do you have any other questions for us?
I'm wondering, are we going to be creating sheets online like we did before? That's the only
Yes.
questions I
Yeah.
kind of
So,
have
yes.
right now.
We're gonna do. We had to. Noah was awesome, and I worked with Noah earlier today and DJ. Noah was very awesome that we were able to get rid of some stuff and be able to fit in character slots for you guys to add your characters to this campaign. So we're not gonna say Noah's campaign setting name, but you guys will be able to get into there. We have open slots for new characters to be assigned.
I
into the
edited the
campaign.
name of the room. It's just test now.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you don't
So
have to worry about saying the name of the room anymore.
But I liked I liked the name of the room before. I just
And
was
then,
trying to be
to
polite
tell
for
you the
KBG.
truth, it
Yeah.
keeps in line to the story for that.
Yeah, it's a test. This is definitely a test of you guys as characters, a test of the gods, a test of the setting, a test of DJ and myself, how the code DMing is going to work. So yeah, this is actually going to be a very good. I like that. Very apropos. So Dave, yes, to answer your question, we will be working on that sort of stuff. We'll be working with you. Obviously, I will probably be working with you on this. DJ will be working with you on it, and we'll get your character uploaded to the new. Once you get your character assigned, we'll get that set up. Was
Yeah,
there?
because for some reason I can't even sign into Roll20 anymore.
Well, don't worry about
Okay.
Roll20. We need to
Don't-
get you
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
Beyond. So go into
D&D
Beyond.
That's
Yeah.
your
Once
roll
your character
20
is
is
set
going
up,
to be more of my end. That's
Yeah,
where the
that-
maps are going to be.
Yeah, so DJ and I are going to be controlling the Roll20 stuff. So you guys, we already got, like, I think DJ, how many did we get? Like 30 maps?
Close to 40, I think.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, it's like we found we found boats, we found islands, we found
And all
underground
the
underwater
maps
stuff.
are going to be reusable, but they're going to be turned in different locations.
Yes. So I think that's really cool. So was there any other questions that you guys had for us as far as character building, world building?
No, I'm good to go.
I think I'm okay for now. I'm still building, but I think I'm okay for the moment.
Because the idea I wanted you guys, like, part of session 0 is also linking up Backstories 2, linking up a lot. There's a lot. Like I've and for those of you that are not purchasing the what was it, the Dungeon Master's Guide for 2024, which is gonna have a whole campaign setting in it already, which I think is really cool. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff with this, so this is definitely gonna be fun.
Yeah. And with this current, I would say, campaign that we're going to be doing is more of how we are going to think as a team
Yes.
when stuff does crap to the fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a challenge for all of us to get past that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
one thing DJ and I noticed was, a lot of the times, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
I'm gonna throw myself.
that was a glitch with the system there, Jen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I just wanted to make sure we're good still.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Okay.
So one of the things is I know for me I have a big personality, and I know that sometimes I can oversay something or overshadow something, and we didn't want that. So we have to cohesively work well to know what is right. And when we did, folks, when we saved that green dragon, everybody was on point. I've never seen 5 characters get together and do such great things.
Yeah,
And
because that
we need
thing
to do
could have
that.
turned really horrible all at once.
Exactly. But if it wasn't for Noah saying certain things and Aaron saying certain things and Dave doing certain things and me doing certain things, all with us saying ideas to each other and like verifying it like in the midst of the situation, we were able to really think really well on our feet. And I think that showed a lot. And that's what we're showcasing in this. Pirates are again, they all have to work together to keep the ship afloat, because if they're in the middle of turbulent waters and the boat sinks and ain't no island to go near, you're dead. And even if there
Yeah,
is an island,
if
what
not
happens? You're gonna
that,
die.
or yeah, it's either that or when the wind dies out and there's no wind at all.
That's just creepy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we have a lot going down.
Well, you
So-
know what they say, when the forest goes silent, run.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's basically.
DJ's heard an experience I had as a player that a DM said that has always set a tone for me, and I will say it here so you guys can understand. I may have said it before.
He'll say it again.
We just finished a major fight. I was at 5 hit points. 3 of the other player characters were, 2 of them were dead, sitting on a tensor's floating disc, and the other player was healing one of them to bring him back to life. And the birds, I turned and I looked at the trees, and the DM turns around and says, "The birds leave the trees." I was like, and this is before perception checks. My gut said something's not right. Birds don't leave in mass from the trees unless something bigger is there. And I was like, I just turned over my shoulder and I told the player character was my sister's character. I said, "Run!" And the dragon raised his head from the trees, and everybody was freaking out. Imagine coming back to life. You have like 3 hit points, and you see a dragon, and it's gonna breathe and kill us all.
Hey, Walt.
And,
By the way, Dre, Jen has a question for you and DJ.
all right, let me take a look at the chat. I switched back to the.
I don't have
the-
it. Yeah, I'm sticking to the map.
All right,
right
question for DJ. Have you heard of the peanut butter and jelly instructions task?
Now. Oh my gosh.
I have never heard of that. So if you want to inform, because I've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, I've never heard of the peanut. Watch it be something that I've heard of, but it's never been under that name. So please inform me of what that is.
It's. I think that you heard of it before. I'm kind of remembering it here and there, but not fully. But I know what it is.
I'm gonna type it in Google while waiting for her response. Exact instructions challenge. See, I don't like that. That's a teacher. That's a teacher thing. So teachers, and that's funny because you say it like that, because I just referred to my teacher self. So my teacher's brain just kicked in. You either do by giving instructions, and you write instructions. Yeah, exactly. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Usually, also, DMs try to take away from that area
Exactly.
because they'll make it boring.
It's called railroading. We call it railroading in D&D. If I tell everybody what exactly to do, it bores the game. And then you have someone like, I'm going to use Noah and I'm going to use Aaron because I love them both. They think very, very outside of the box. So as a DM, you have to be able to roll, no pun intended, with those options. And if somebody decides to say, "Hey, I'm going to jump off the boat and shatter the boat and have it drain make them focus on this," well, damn it, I got to just like, I didn't think you were going to do that. Now I have to. So it gives us something different to look at, and it gives the players a lot more flexibility for problem solving, which is actually
it always changes the story.
Yes.
I'm nothing if not efficient in my solutions.
Oh, you are, sir, 100%. I love it. But then you get KBG, who's also exhibited that where it's worked very well, and it's worked where it hasn't worked. So in those instances, you have to leave players to their own devices because they build their characters to having that option, But at the same time, you have to give them enough flexibility
Leeway.
and leeway to know they're not railroaded. Like I said, DJ and I know the end story. How we get there
Is up to the players.
is up to them. And me and DJ aren't guiding it. At no point, we have both made that promise. We've got it recorded here. DJ and I are not using any prior knowledge. It's whatever you guys decide for us to do, we go and do. Now, mind you, if it's completely something stupid that's going to kill us, we might say no and veto it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, let's jump in the Megalodon's mouth and see if there's something inside. Not
You're
happening.
probably going to veto a lot of my ideas.
The only
I'm just
thing
gonna
that
go ahead
will
and put
probably
that out there.
happen is if a dark sorcerer took over a Megalodon and put a portal in his mouth. That'll be the only exception, but that'll never happen.
Yeah, like we're not doing anything like, like crazy and far-reaching is fine, but remember the limitations of your skill set and the rule set. 2024 rules are a lot more broader in their understanding and their and how they can be interpreted. But again, it comes down to DJ and I's ruling on them, and too fantastical, probably not going to work. If it's within your skill set and ability to do something,
then yes.
Do it. You're a rogue bard. Noah, I expect some wild ideas from you because you're a rogue bard with 10,000 skill monkeys. You better be pulling some skill monkey things out your butt.
So
I
basically,
mean, just wait until I level up and am able to actually pick the rogue class, because I can't pick it yet.
So
but I've already told you off stream what I'm going to do.
So for an example,
I think I did this. Anyway.
For an example, for off the wall, if Noah wants to take his little guitar and use it as a bow and arrow with his dagger, using the guitar strings, that'll be up in the air.
Yeah, because obviously, if now mind you, if he has the sailor origin with the tavern brawler background, which gives you the improvised weapon feat involved in that feat, doesn't matter. Tavern brawler is an origin feat that gets given with sailor.
You're right.
Yeah.
And it gives you improvised weapon, which the rules state you can turn anything in your grasp into a weapon that you are proficient with.
Yep.
So rules is written. Rules is written.
That doesn't really fit with my dude, though.
Now, see, I have that.
I'm just giving an example. That's all.
Yeah, like if it hit the fan, my character would probably do some wild stuff. But...
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Aaron's Scottish, fighter. If he decides to say, like, if he has the Tavern Brawler, because if he took the sailor background, he gets the Tavern Brawler origin feat. Now, if he's like, I'm in the bar and I have no weapons on me, he picks up a chair and starts swinging it like WWE. Guess what? Rules is written. Hey, go to. It's 1d4 plus your strength. Go have fun.
Yeah.
He picks up that table.
Get the table.
Exactly. Devon, get the tables. He wants to 3D someone through a table with Noah. Go right ahead.
Choke slam him through. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. The rules is written. It allows it. Now, if you don't have that, he lifts his kilt and gets and all. Well, that's a distraction. That's a deception skill check.
Yeah.
Lifts his kilt and recreates the all too famous scene from Braveheart.
Now that would be funny.
Yeah.
So if in Braveheart, if you were to chuck the claymore, I would allow that.
Oh yeah, because I mean, again, so there are limits. Like, I don't want you guys to think of things that it's like. I'm trying to figure out how to work.
Don't think inside a box.
Don't think don't think inside the box, but also understand the limitations of how far out the box.
Ricardo.
Like, don't start saying you want to cast spells and you're a fighter, because I'm gonna look at you funny. Like, how the heck are you doing that? Unless
are
the
you
situation.
an Eldritch Knight?
Exactly. Now, if he's an Eldritch Knight, then hey,
that
by all means, cast a spell. Or Psy Warrior, because technically Psy Warriors are also spellcasters.
It's not.
It's not
but
magic.
It's not magic.
It's
I know.
Psionics. But see, they changed that in 5th edition. They call it magic now, which is stupid.
That's because 5th edition's dumb. And this is somebody who came into D&D in 5th edition.
I know, and I played since second, where psionics were always more powerful than magic. But I digress. So
I still think
and I wish, trust me, I've been actually wanting to rewrite the rules on psionics for a whole long time, and I'm tempted to, very tempted to. But there are just know the limitations and know, like I said, just know what you guys like. Read your skills, because I know a lot of the times I have stepped in as a player, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to publicly apologize to everybody in this group. I've done that, and it's because I know the skills. Don't let me do that. Know your character sheet like front and back of your hand. If you're a 5th level fighter, you're the 5th level bard. Know every spell, every nook and cranny. That way we, as the DMs, don't have anything except for knowing the base of what that is, and what changes it is how you use it.
Like, if you want to use Mage Hand and jiggle someone's brain, that's 50-50. That's if the DM allows
no, that's
it.
actually
that's very eldritch of you to think of.
Technically, you're not allowed to do that because the Mage Hand can't
Yeah.
grab anything that weighs more than 5 pounds. The brain weighs 5 pounds. Depends on the size of the person.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. That's 50-50. That's up in the air, but it's depending on the DM.
Jen, what are you saying bet to? I'm curious. What are you thinking? I love when people that don't play D&D come up with crazier ideas than we do.
No, I think she's agreeing with what you said about us knowing our characters, knowing our skills, knowing our stats.
Yeah, because it's something that I've always had DMs yell at me about. Because I've always been, and it's sad, I've had very good DM experiences, and I've had very bad DM experiences as a player. That when
she said,
yeah,
don't let you do stuff.
Yeah, you guys know, if you guys know what you can do, like if KBG, if you're a fighter, I didn't ask you what your subclass was going to be.
I hadn't
That was
really
actually
thought of a subclass yet, to be honest. Kind of
All right,
building the character as I go. It's kind of
Gotcha.
avant-garde.
Well, I mean, you can go legacy with some of the subclasses, so you do have access to if you choose to go legacy. If you want to stay more leaning towards stuff that's not in legacy, I've looked at the 4 subclasses. My personal opinion, take it for what it is. I think Battle Master is probably the best one next to Gladiator.
That may be what I went with. I can't remember. I was looking at all of them.
I think they're good, but I want to hear what Noah has to say.
I have to argue champion fighter is better than Battle Master. Simply because of the crit decrease.
I would say it's situational also.
Yeah, fighter is a very situational class.
Yeah, but champion, I think, is one of those balanced ones that literally you can do what you do.
You can take a champion fighter and multi-class it into a berserker barbarian, and you're busted.
I think that's pretty. I think a champion fighter, because of the fact that you increase your crits, and there are other cool benefits. You have that rally feature, which makes you almost sort of like the champion of 3rd edition, which was broken back then. But I did like how they fixed it here. There's a lot of cool things you have in that regard. But again, it's, you may want to go with a different subclass altogether. If you want to have spellcasting or psionics, that can be pretty cool too. If it fits the story that you're writing for your character.
Right.
Because a gladiator would be kind of cool. I didn't even think of that. Like, gladiator would fit Argos' setting immensely, but again, that's up to him.
Yeah, I'm just throwing an idea out there. So
I do like that champion. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do agree with you though. Champion is pretty cool.
Champion and berserker barbarian, champion fighter, berserker barbarian multi-class. If you can get that crit decrease down to 18, have fun critting.
The lowest I ever got it to was 17, and that was in the early 5th edition 2014 rules, where you could take all those feats, and you had to take like 5 feats, and get it down to like the 17. That is amazing. And you technically are like a level 12 fighter at that point, but to get to a 17 crit.
You better hope your rolls are good though, because you're sacrificing a lot of ASIs to make that happen.
Yeah. So
That's the only thing I don't like about doing that. But.
Exactly, and this game does, and that's something that I guess as we can kind of go overview with that, you guys, for the people that don't know, when you play Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of people always presume you can do only these crazy fantastical things, and there are tables that are like that you can do all those crazy fantastical things, but then they don't want to follow the rule set.
Yeah.
The rule set allows you to do some crazy things within the rule sets. It's just knowing, like Noah has said, and Noah really, I got to give it to him as a new player. He's really stepped up and learned a lot of the cool nuances of the various character builds and has found some cool ways to tweak it to make the characters do these fantastical things.
That's
within
because
the
I
rule
dive
sets.
into lore videos while I'm at work and I obsess over them. And then
So
it's
We
insane.
kind of got Noah into D&D a little too much.
I'm the
it.
lore
I like
junkie.
that.
I'm the lore junkie, so.
Yeah, and he's so for those that are new to the game, you have a lot of creativity in your character. It's always thinking of how you build your character to the setting, because you don't want to play something that doesn't fit the setting. That was always one of my things. I used to play characters that never fit the setting, and then my DM had to shoehorn me in, and it always felt like I was shoehorned in. Like I was like, oh, I'm in a European setting, I want a katana. My DM was like, katanas aren't a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to use a katana. And I became so rigid as a player that it really pissed off the other players at the table. It pissed off my DM, and it didn't make for a good experience. So, knowing what the table, that's why I love Session Zero. It's going to set expectations for us as the DMs of what you guys are looking for and what we as the DMs are going to bring to the table. Now, we've said everything we're bringing. What are some expectations, Aaron, Dave, and and Noah? What are you guys looking to do? What would you guys like to do as well? Like, I kind of want to hear.
And somewhere down the line, we might fit it into the story.
It might actually contribute to part of the story to go through things like exactly that. So that's why I'm just kind of, if you had to pick two things off the top of your head that you would like to do.
I'm going to turn it over to the other two. I got to think about that one.
Okay.
Take on a demigod and, just whip their ass and show them that they're not everything.
So
that's something that's going to happen.
You want to unleash your inner Kratos.
Yeah, that's something that's going to happen.
I like it. I respect
that's
it.
That's going to happen.
I respect it.
That's happening that down the line.
For sure.
That's going to happen. Yeah, that will happen.
I want to be like Jet Li in the one.
I'm Hugh Law. I'm nobody's.
Yes. It's past 10 o'clock.
All right, so I like that. I like that idea. What was the second thing, Dave, for your character that you can say you would like to see? I think he's muted.
No, I'm talking. I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
He's using.
I'm thinking because I
think
I expect a lot of chaos and insanity. I expect us to be in some very, maybe serious situations, but we're going to be laughing our butts off at it.
Oh yeah.
Session's going to be like that.
Oh yeah,
there's
the first
Aaron and there's Noah, so that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I don't know. It'd be interesting if I came across another paladin like myself who has similar mindset in regards to the gods.
You never know. It might be one of the crew members.
Yeah. So that's something that we can always fit in. I like that. Noah, I know you. Not Noah. Noah, I know you're taking your time thinking about KVG. You've been unusually silent. And I know it's because your throat hurts, but I know you have to have an idea about this of something that you would like to see. Because I love that you delve deep into your character lore yourself for how you'd like your character to do. So, is there something you'd like? This great dwarven fighter of the seas.
To be honest, I just I want to be able to just kind of dive in and enjoy the story more than anything else. And as far as my character goes, he just wants to travel around and see the sights and maybe have a drink or two, go out and party a little bit. But
Okay, now the question is
Shocker.
for the drink: is the mug gonna be as big as you?
yes, yes,
I
Yeah,
mean,
do you
so-
carry your own tankard?
yes.
Is what
no,
I'm
yes.
no,
He
no,
has it
no,
on his
no.
belt.
Okay.
You
Okay.
all of you have it wrong. It's not a mug, not a
a barrel.
tankard. It's a barrel.
Yeah, a barrel
It's a
back.
barrel
Spigot?
with, no,
Oh.
it's a barrel, but it has a regular size hand, like a dwarf size handle on it.
So wait, so KVG, if I told you that you could take an ale bath and drink your bath water, would you do it?
I mean, it's alcohol, so yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Well,
I think
Well, isn't Noah a monk?
I
So
think
wouldn't he
this is.
make the ale?
I'm not a monk. I'm a bard and a rogue.
Oh.
I'm the monk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
Although
as
I
far
did
as it
think
goes
about
with
the
my character, it just adventure, fun,
Yep.
camaraderie.
Would you? Okay, I think this is a very important question that needs to be asked. Would you, on occasion, sell that ale bath water at a port?
Well, I mean, my character's name is not Belle Delphine, so no.
Is this only ships?
I know it's only dragons.
Only
Only
pirates?
dragons, folks. It's the only dragons.
But nah, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I'm just going along for the adventure with this one
Let's do it.
Okay.
because I don't,
All right, that's
I don't
cool.
know
No.
how much creativity I'm allowed to run with, just so that it doesn't affect.
I
the
would
story.
say at least 80% creativity on this one.
Yeah,
Ask
The whole point
forgiveness,
is,
not permission.
Noah, isn't that apropos to what we said earlier today, you and I?
Says the bard rogue.
Yeah, like so.
Ask
So
forgiveness, not
so
permission.
the thing is, if you're saying if you are super creative, and that's why I'm a little surprised that, like, and not in a bad way, just that you want to kind of go for the ride. That's cool if you want to do that. Like, if you just want to be like the guy that sits in the background, by all means do
Well,
that.
see,
But I wanted
that's-
to know if there's
that's
any
how-
motivation. Is there motivation for you besides the wayfaring and seeing the world? Like, what drives what you left the mountains for adventure, which is what everybody does. But what is your reason, your character's reason to get out of bed in the morning? That's what I want to know.
Smack somebody's butt. Probably
Yeah,
at a
you're a
tavern.
Make
You're
a
a
name
fighter,
for himself. Go out there and prove that he's the strongest. Just
I like it. See,
Yeah.
that I needed to hear because that just sparked so much in my brain when
Yeah.
you said that.
also
I
to
love
amass,
that.
amass riches as well. Because he's a pirate.
Well, of
I-
course.
that-
What pirate doesn't
well, no,
want
no.
to amass riches?
I don't. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm a pirate that doesn't want to have any riches. Like, I don't want a lot, but my character's like more. I'll take my fair share, but I'm not in it for the treasure as much as everybody else. Which I think is
Yeah,
cool.
for my
That's-
yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and for my character, it's mostly as I can shoot ahead. That's it. I'm happy.
You're the
So
mercenary.
that's what I'm glad. I'm glad
most
that
pirate of all
KVG said
time.
that.
Yeah.
DJ, I gotta message you.
Yeah,
I have
later
a
tonight.
whole-
Later
I have
tonight.
so much that just like he said that it just
A
was
little
like
bit of everything there, Jen. Even the occasional
no.
woman at port.
oh my.
Yeah, that's why I'm
purchased a
like-
book. I have a book that has NPCs.
Okay, first
I
off,
can
Gray,
just-
I don't want you playing the NPC.
Great. Is,
I'm not
is-
playing
is
the
it only
NPC. I have a
maidens?
That
book,
would be weird.
Only Maidens.
Only
I'll never
maids.
play that. Oh, Only Maids. That sounds something that you'd see in Japan.
Yeah.
Or France. I would say
Only
France.
uwus?
Hey, future, what's up?
So spices, gold. Now all those things exist, but if he's looking to bring in the true treasure, notoriety
Yeah.
is what he's looking for. And when he said that, that to me sparked it. That you want to be that pirate, like
There
you're that guy.
There is gonna be renown in this. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. So there is. I forgot to mention that. Renown is something that is going to be attributed to not only your level, but to what your characters accomplish.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you can accrue that renown, and have a name for yourselves amongst the characters of
Yeah.
equal level to you. So if you're level 7, obviously for metagame purposes, people of renown and you've accrued some adventuring and treasure and notoriety. People, you may stroll into town and there may be people like, and I expect someone like Noah, while he's being a cartographer selling his maps. Have you heard the tale of this pirate, of this dwarf captain? Oh my goodness, this guy here, he drinks like a mermaid in the ocean, and look what he does. Have you heard his stories? And that's ways that we would sell your notoriety and build
And
that
there
name for you.
are going to be towns
I'm
throughout
glad you.
the
I'm glad.
islands.
I'm glad you did that, Dre. I'm working up a tune.
See, do you like how I work? I do pay attention to
Yeah.
what y'all say.
And
I want you to know.
Yeah, Future,
in
I
these
saw
towns-
that, but I'm taking a long break from that game. I've got
Yeah.
to.
So on these islands, there's going to be specific taverns that know a certain amount of the characters, and through these taverns and everything is where you're going to get the hires for the ship along the road that you guys are owning.
So think of
Okay.
mission boards. If you guys ever played like
like-
Witcher or even like Sea of Thieves, they have that little board that you can pull missions from. So there
Yeah,
are
the
going to
bounty
be people
boards in Borderlands.
exactly. So exactly. So think of it like that. Like, and there will be bounties very similar to I'm gonna borrow it from a great anime, One Piece.
Yeah.
Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates, they have their posters posted all over the place. And just so you guys know, there is a navy that does police the waters, and they are a threat in and of themselves. And like Jen said, do you want to be nefarious or famous? That nefarious implies more that you kill people, which were good people. We wouldn't really
Infamous?
do that. But
Famous
infamous,
or infamous?
I think infamous fits more along with that. We, can Robin Hood it, steal from the rich to feed the poor,
Yeah.
build our own riches up.
Yeah.
Or
And
we
you
could
guys-
just do whatever we want.
And
That's very true.
Yeah. And I would say at least up until you guys get your boat, save as much as you can. Because there is going to be something along the line down the future for the crew.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and so wealth. Now there is a and I didn't tell DJ this, and it's something that I've seen. So there is a banking system. So where like you can place funds in a bank, where the bank is around the world and it's controlled by magic. So like your funds can appear instantly in your hands. Think of it like an ATM machine. You go in, they're going to ask to prove who you are. They will have disguise. They will have all these spells that they will cast in an area like Zone of Truth. I was reading about this.
Yeah.
Somebody did this in their campaign setting, and I thought it would be perfect to have, because listen, bags of holding are great, but gold weighs a lot, and bag of holdings can only hold a certain amount of weight before they break. So where does your
Mike.
gold sit?
My character doesn't trust banks. He tucks all his gold pieces underneath his bed.
Well, this is the bank that no one can rob overall.
Yeah, like this is a very,
He still doesn't
big-
trust banks.
and you can do that. I'm a druid. I don't even use money.
He's gonna tuck the
Yeah,
gold pieces.
for me,
underneath
I don't
the bedroll.
need it. There's
My
nothing
character
for me.
barters. Exactly. My character barters. I've lived
Yeah.
on the sea. I fish. I trade scales. I trade fish. If I find treasure, I trade that for food, shelter. The circle provides. That's how my character thinks.
I would probably carry a small amount of gold just for like land travel, but I would probably operate similarly in the ports. Like
And Jen,
if
you're
I,
very right.
yeah, like if I'm in the ports, I'm probably gonna be bartering with the other merchants.
And that's
Yeah,
another thing too.
but
I
if
forgot to
I'm-
tell you guys.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
if we're deeper inland on an island, I'm probably gonna be using gold.
So just
So-
as an aside, it's something that DJ and I did talk about because money is a very big thing in this game. But at the same time, also for you guys, bartering is something you need to do more of, and that is it's an opposed role of your deception versus
Insight.
a charisma. No, it's a charisma. It's a charisma role, versus deception, and that's how, when you're trying to sell, because that's how Baldur's Gate does it. Baldur's Gate treats the roll as a charisma roll versus deception or persuasion. So if you're in there trying to dissuade somebody, you want them to pay you a little bit more, it's a persuasion check. If you're trying to get a lower deal and it's like you failed that persuasion check, it's now a deception check. And if you fail
I
those
see what
two,
you're saying. Okay, so I was thinking of like just a general conversation between two people where one's lying and the other one has to figure out the diligence.
No. Those are checks that exist in the world, but it's the way Baldur's Gate, when I was playing it, I've been doing a recent playthrough, and it's kind of like a bad guy playthrough I'm doing. And I've noticed that it does, like, you get your base, like, it tells you persuasion. Then when I failed it, it'll give me deception. It'll have deception as another option for me to check again. Yeah. If I fail those two, then I failed. Like, nothing's going to help me. So in this instance, while you're playing and if you guys are like in a town, and now this isn't going to be like, hey, I want to pay 1 gold for a 5,000 gold piece armor set. They're going to look at you but if it's something where you're trying to do fair trade, like you have a statue of, like Dave finds a statue of a fallen deity and he wants to sell it for 5,000 gold, and this guy has armor and he wants to barter, that's something for equal trade. Remember, it's equivalent trade. Now, if you're trying to be deceptive from the start and you want to try to pull that 1 gold for something more, that's deception. So
basically aging the statue if someone were to create it and saying that this is old statue and I want 5,000 gold for this.
Gotcha.
And they're pirates. Not everyone's going to be telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Not everyone that makes a parlay with you is going to parlay with you all the way through. Think about how many times, Aaron, you and I have been on the boat, on the water, and we've parlayed, and then people have blown our boat up.
Yeah.
And think how many times we've parlayed, and we've sunk people's boats. So it works either which way.
Especially when they shot me.
Yep.
Oh God.
And Future's response was, "You boys know the rules."
Exactly. I loved it. Loved it. And it was funny because I wasn't even there for when you got shot. I literally was coming back from the bathroom and I just heard Aaron. He had this mad tone in his voice. And he was like, "Guys, open fire." And I'm like, "Huh? What? What?" And I just run to a cannon and start firing.
No.
Because my friend said it was time to shoot the bad guys. So expect that sort of shenaniganry to happen.
Because it's funny because like the guy shoots DJ and you hear his friend across the radio, over on the other boat. Why did you do that? And you hear Future. Well, you boys know the rules.
Mm-hmm. I'm laughing because the guy was celebrating like, I got him.
And then you just see all the cannons open fire.
And I love when we sunk the boat. And when we sunk that boat, it was the sheer joy on our faces. And I mean, it's happened to us too. So, I mean, it's been on both sides. So things like that can happen. So hence why we say expect the unexpected, because some alliances are going to be uneasy.
That is for sure. Especially with certain NPCs down the line.
So I'm expecting the unexpected, but at the same time, I'm expecting some expected. So I'm looking forward to a lot of fun things you guys have planned. And from hearing the setting, and I'm going to thank you, Noah, for kind of revitalizing my knowledge on the Japanese pirates, because I was loving that. So I appreciate you very much for that.
Researching Asian piracy, dude. It's so much more interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I think it's because I'm white.
To watch Our Flag Means Death. They bring that up a good bit.
Yeah, I honestly think this is because I'm white, but I find Asian piracy. I'm just being honest. I find Asian piracy so fascinating. It's so much more fascinating to me than like
I thought you were just two dots
the normal
out in the gray square.
Yeah, fair enough. But
sorry, I love you, Noah. That was funny.
No, it's fine. I lost my train of thought now. Thanks, Aaron.
Okay.
You're welcome. I'm good about
that. Just to let you guys know, I want you guys to come up with the design of a flag for
You don't want me doing that. You don't want me doing
No, I'm going to collect them all, and then me and Dre will decide.
Yeah, it's going to be... Well, I'm removing myself from making one. So consensus is amongst the three of you. Come up with an idea. If you want to make 3 individual ones, we can, and then we will. DJ and I will kind of see how you vote amongst each other. Because if one of y'all says, "Oh man, this one looks dope," or we may leave it to the chat and we pull the chat.
Yeah.
So some audience interaction while we're at it.
Yeah.
So there are some very cool things we do have planned.
Yeah. But first off, it's just going to be the flag for a boat. And that flag's going to be used later down the line.
I got you.
It's not a boat. It's a ship.
Same thing.
Oh, you may just have a boat first.
Have some respect.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how the first session goes, you guys might end up in a boat.
Or we might all die.
Jen said,
No.
and Jen's right. That's actually what Stede Bonnet did in Our Flag Means Death. He had them. The crew build a flag for the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. Like I want. It's a lot of. Think about it like this. It's a lot of table participation where the DM does not have say. So you guys have some say over how you want to build your flag and name your boat, as long as it's obviously respectful for the stream purposes, obviously, folks, because we do know we can't go too ham as much as we like.
Shucks, man, there goes all my ideas.
So if you want to go like for any of the flags from the Pirates of the Caribbean flags, we can do that.
If you want to go with like variations of like the One Piece flags, because I've watched enough One Piece. I've seen like 1,400 episodes of One Piece.
Jen, don't be giving out my business models now. Had a business plan at one point.
So how do I put this character into the campaign? I don't remember.
All right, you have to now, since your character is already since you have the test campaign as yours, you just have to assign him to the campaign.
Yeah, that's it.
How do I do that?
It'll on your character sheet when you go through your campaign, it'll say unassigned or assigned.
Well, it tells me to create an unassigned character or to create a character for the campaign.
The character.
I've already created the character. Right, I'm trying to add the character to it. I don't have just the add button.
Yeah. All right, so you're gonna go back out of that character and you're gonna go click on like your name in the upper right corner, which will refresh your screen. That character, when you go to your campaign setting, will be unassigned. Then you're gonna go. It'll say assign character, delete character. You're gonna assign that new character in that to your campaign. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Is it okay for us to delete the characters from before?
Yes. We already did that.
The only one I haven't done. The only one I haven't done of that is Screep.
Yeah, you can.
Because, and that's on D&D Beyond, right?
Yeah, that's on D&D Beyond. Yeah, I wanted.
And the only person that can add Dave is going to be Noah, because Noah he organizes it. So as soon as you finish your character, just let Noah know, and he could add your, even if it's not complete. Well, while you're creating your character,
when I go into D&D Beyond, it shows like I can pull up my previous 2 characters.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
That's for you. That's your personal.
Yeah, we get 6 personals for free accounts. You get 6 personals that we're allowed to, and you can delete them if you don't want to keep them. That's up to you.
But it also doesn't show the race that I was going for. So I think maybe you'll have to work with me on that.
Yeah, I'll help you with that, Dave. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, hang on. Give me a second. I get back to it.
Yeah, if you can give us the link for the campaign.
Yeah,
I can do that. I'm in D&D Beyond. Let me just get out of my.
Here, I got it. Here. I already had the thing pulled up. I already had it pulled up. I'm dropping it in the chat.
You the best.
Yep, it's in the chat. I see it.
Very nice.
So walk me through this one more time, because this is starting to frustrate me.
Okay, on the left.
I am on the campaign homepage. That's where I'm at.
If you see the character list,
yes,
or all the characters.
I see yours and Dre's. And Dre, for some reason, it says that I am the player of this character.
Unassigned to
know.
that.
Unassigned to that. Yeah, unassigned.
Yeah.
Then I'll assign to him.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that happened
Yeah.
because I didn't do that. So
It's an automatic thing that happens. It's
Yeah.
okay.
that's weird. Okay.
That's them.
Yeah, that's how it is, which I hate.
Oh, it's probably because I'm the one who claimed it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what that is. Never mind. Okay, so my character. How do I get my character here?
There we go.
Let's see.
All right, I got
There
it.
should have been a button to add character or
Y'all should be seeing mine pop in there.
Yep, I just joined the campaign with my character.
Okay.
Yep, there's DJs, there's Fanny Balls.
Cornel
It's so
Storm,
hard
he's the most fearsome pirate.
and
feel like
everyone
Maelstrom.
is starting at level 5 for this one.
Okay.
So I can create unassigned character or create unassigned pre-made character. It doesn't just say, "Hey, add your
Alright.
character to this."
So when you create your character, create the unassigned character, finish the unassigned character, go to your link, click it, and it'll say which character would you like to join with.
Champion.
No,
Nice.
I mean I've already created the character. The character is done.
So there should
That's
be
what I'm
an
talking
option to actually drag your character over.
Yeah, that I don't know. That's up to DJ. So DJ, you gotta
Let me
that one.
see here. Let me try.
Okay, so I am now on my character sheet. I just want a button that says "Add pre-made character." Why is that
I
so
wish
hard?
they would do something as simple as that. I don't disagree with you. I really wish they
add
did.
a character that you have already created to this. What is so freaking difficult about that?
Okay, on the character, does it say campaign only, public, or private? So
Where?
when you go to manage on the character sheet, it should be right next to your name.
Okay.
All right, I got him updated at level 5.
Nice.
And I went
Okay.
with
Now you
I did
Oh,
go with
DJ.
a great weapon mastery as well, just in case I need to like switch over to a 2-hand.
Okay.
nice. So DJ,
Character setting.
I'll wait till you're finished, DJ. So we get because you guys do get magical items too to work out with, so we can tell you the number you're allowed to have.
And then if you scroll down, it'll say character privacy.
Yeah, it says campaign only.
Okay. That's weird. That
And
is
it's
not
not
allowing
allowing
you.
To put my own character into my own room that I run.
Yeah. Try clicking on the link yourself and see what happens.
Yeah, because I know that my friend had to do that once, where
Yeah.
he had to like click his own link to add his character. Now I don't know why
This is
D
stupid.
Beyond does that. It does that.
Yeah.
So while
Wizards of Beyond says no.
That's
Exactly.
yeah. Wizards of the Beyond is just more like.
Or Wizards of the Coast, not Wizards of the Beyond.
No, I'm calling them Wizards of the Beyond
You're
because they're
welcome.
the same freaking thing.
You're
So
welcome. That's a good
they're-
name for them.
they're stupid anyway, even though I pay them $5 a month to use this freaking service. Whatever.
So
Done.
for purposes of understanding what you guys have as far as items can go, 5th level, it's gonna allow you just so
we go.
you guys know, you guys can have 2 purple.
Oh,
Purple.
I have some serious upgrading to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I have-
sheet.
I have
Alright,
2
so-
green.
All right, so let me finish. 2 purple, 2 green, and 2 blue.
2 purple, 2 green, 2 blue. Got
Now, for those that are uninitiated, that means the level of potency for those weapons, because some magical weapons are very powerful.
Wait, are these
And
weapons or items in general? Just gear?
Weapons,
It,
or no, this is your gear
it's
total.
both.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's 6.
both.
Equipment.
So
Got it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
if you go 2 purple weapons, that's it. You can't get any more purples.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You could have 2 purples, 2 green, 2 blue, and then the rest is all your base gear, which would be like stuff like rope. We're not going to keep track of your ammunition, so because that's minutia me and DJ just don't care about. We're be very frank with you. We don't care about that stuff. As long
Wait,
The
wait,
we will
only
keep,
thing,
Did
if
you
you
call it
abuse it,
minutia?
we will. Yes. If you guys
My God.
honestly make us, if you guys make us have to start worrying that you're not being honest, which I don't think any of you would, but if you ever did, we would then start being real sticklers and start making you tab it like they actually have on the new character sheets, which is ridiculous. It's like
Yeah.
tons of new
Yeah.
homework. So just if you got 50 arrows, make sure you always
That's-
restock.
yeah.
Make sure you restock. You got 50 bullets, make sure you restock.
The only thing that they did introduce is actually the black powder pouches also.
Hmm.
The powder horn,
Mm-hmm.
the gunpowder
Yes.
horn, for the muskets and for the pistols.
Okay.
So that you have to keep an eye on how many of those you have. Because it's only a certain amount of gunpowder that's in those things.
Yeah.
Yep. Like you figure you get about maybe 5 to 10, maybe at most, depending on the size. Usually those things were about 5 to 10 shots. From what I've seen based on Civil War and playing Assassin's Creed, before that thing would be empty, you got about 5 to 10 shots.
All right. So what were it was 2 purple.
2 purple, 2 blue, 2 green.
Gotcha.
So that would quantify under like your cloak of protections,
Gotcha.
your Now, when you guys get a little bit higher, items are not going to also don't expect that every treasure chest you get is going to have 50 magical items for you. It's not.
Yeah.
It's going
You're
to
probably going to have
be
loot,
1 or 2.
and that 1 or 2 is going to be not every campaign, because not every time you sink a ship you're going to find that sort of stuff. Magical items are going to be meant for milestoning, like when you and they're going to probably be like a gold level item. For those of you that don't know, golds are like the +3 named items that the game offers. So things like that, DJ and I will discuss beforehand, and we know what we'll place, and it'll kind of be divvied up on whoever fits the bill to get it. Like obviously, if it's an axe and KBG uses an axe, we're not going to not give it to him. If it's a musket, DJ uses muskets, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. We know the items for who they go to.
And weight's not going to be a factor in here. It's only the items that you can carry on you and a backpack.
If you have a bag of holding, obviously that's up to 2. If I'm not mistaken, bag of holdings are only 2,000 pounds. They have gotten rid of the haversack. The haversack used to be a lot bigger, and now the bag of holding actually looks like a messenger bag. So it's no longer a pouch. So I do like that they upped the weight, because it used to be only 1,000 pounds.
So the powder horn does not have an actual thing on it to let you know how many shots you can get out of it. So I would say, me and you, Dre, personally, I would say like 8 shots tops.
I'm fine with 8. That's a nice round number.
And you can carry how many bags, should we say? Because they're actual horns.
Though it depends on the weight for the bag of holding.
It's 10 pounds of
So
horn.
if you want to carry and how expensive are they?
175 GP.
All right, so let's factor
4?
that most people are probably not going to carry more than 2. The average person won't carry more than 2, which means that, what was the old joke that Chris Rock said? Like, if bullets cost more than the guns,
yes,
you would not shoot people that you don't.
Yeah. So 1 horn is 2 pounds and it's 35 GP, and 5 horns is 10 pounds with 175 GP.
That's fine. I figure the average person would care. You factor in it's 8 shots per horn. You know, it makes you makes you keep tabs, which I'm okay with
Yeah.
that being a thing of the honor system.
So at least the players in here can know what to look out for.
Yeah, like so if you see it, if you hear like there's a horn and it's got like some runes on it, probably not gonna. If you don't fire firearms, you know,
It's not going to be useful.
it won't be useful. So let's just like because I've always like I'm gonna say as a player and as a DM, I've had some very bad experiences. I've had players that items meant for my character taken away by other players because they just were greedy for items, and they ruined the experience for my character because it's like the sword was meant for me. Like the DM made the sword for me. It was meant for it. Like the guy knew beforehand, and when we were divvying up the treasure, he's like, "Oh yeah, that sword's mine." Everybody at the table looked at him like, "What the hell, dude? Like that's not for you." And he's like, "No, I want it." Made a big stink, and I forgot, like was like for that whatever you have it.
Other players steal other players' stuff, which is
And with us being
not
friends,
in a good way. Yeah,
exactly. And with our friend circle, I'm not worried about us doing that. I just hate that I've seen that. It's just the stories, the good stories I've had. I love the DM experiences where the stories have made me cry, moved, because you're accomplishing this goal. I mean, there's so many. Oh God, the stories. But I don't want to tell you all of them because then I want to steal some of those ideas to put in here. So I gotta, let some of those ideas marinate so you guys don't get to see all of them. But they're definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Like Aaron saying what he said. Oh my God, between Aaron's story and what I've heard from Noah and Dave, I have so many ideas like shooting off my brain.
yeah. Question? No, because pirates do wield sometimes, so I'm not gonna ask that.
Pistols, not rifles.
I was saying rapiers.
Rapiers are finesse weapons, but they are not the same. You'd have to have the 2-weapon fighting feat, and you have to have the strength requirement to actually wield both weapons if they're the same size. Because dual wielding was always a light weapon and a regular size weapon in their hands. Because the feat was broken in 3rd edition Monkey Grip, where you can wield 2 large weapons and 2-weapon fighting and wield 2 great axes in each of your hands. Then 5th edition said, hey, well, you can have 2-weapon fighting, but then you get a penalty if you wielded 2 long swords or 2 bastard swords or anything like that. So
I think I got my items figured out.
So the idea is also, please, one thing is go look at the regular stuff for inventory, because I will say this, healing potions, I mean, Noah and I are the only healers, and if we run out of spells, a healer's kit in 5e, as per the new 2024 rules, will heal. It will make you expend a die for healing, plus the person's wisdom modifier for their healing stat. So just be mindful of that. So a healer's kit is something that everybody can use, even if you're not proficient. And you get 10, each kit has got 10 uses. And you can only heal the same person. You can only heal one person with the kit per day. So I could heal everybody in the party with 1 round of a healer's kit once per day. So
but
you can't use it a kit.
But you still have 10. You still have 10 uses total on that one kit, so you could heal the entire party for multiple days off one kit, which is kind of insane.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how they balanced out the rules, and I thought that made sense because healing was something that they said was, and I've watched a lot of videos this week about healing. Healing has been a factor because healing did nothing in the original 2014 rules, and they've increased healing, but it's between me and Noah. It will be, if you take a lot of damage, we don't have a way of there's no revivify.
I have heat.
All right,
I have,
Casey, have a
I
good
have,
one.
I have healing word and
I have,
lesser
I have,
rest.
I have
That's it.
healing word. I
That's all
have
I got
healing
right now.
word. I have healing word and cure light wounds. That's all I have.
Jerry, we want to hold off until like after the stream to do something with me with creating my character? Because I got up
I'm like,
to the part where it says
So,
confirm add class.
so all
you-
right now,
Paladin?
that's all this is for.
yeah, that's what this session is.
Okay. Because it's asking me to confirm add class.
Yeah, you want to add your class.
So I'm not sure which. I mean, there's different ones listed here.
Can you stop sharing your screen and let Dave share his so we can see what he's seeing?
Sure.
That way we can see what Dave's seeing because I've never seen that add a class. Like when I add a class, it always is like, yeah, you're good, and then it tells you just to go through the level for the numbers.
Clicking share screen. Is it? Are you guys seeing anything?
So healing word, I don't see anything yet.
No.
So healing word works that you basically will like chant the words at the person that's for healing, and they're
Yeah.
healed. It's not
I'm
like
clicking
now
share.
you can be funny and like personalize it for a bard. I think a bard version of the same spell that how I cast it are two different ways. So I think it'd be kind of cool to hear a druid's version, versus
Yeah.
the bardic version. So however, if Noah wants to sing it at somebody, go right ahead. I think that's pretty cool. Like that's me. Versus a druid, being more focused on the hand movements, and for me, it'd be
Oh,
tied to the
dude.
water. So it'll be like, maybe I throw water at you, as part of my
As,
spell to show that it heals your wounds.
as a bard, I could probably think of some pretty dirty ways to cast healing word.
Remember, we got to be polite for the stream.
I'm saying I
Okay.
could.
Were
I
you able to
didn't say I
get it
would.
up? On
That's for the only
stream, Dave?
dragons. That's for the only dragon stream.
Dave, were you able to share your screen or no?
I'm trying to.
Let's
I'm
see.
clicking on share your screen and it's not giving
mean-
me any indication.
I'm looking to see if it's showing up on here.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll be right back. I gotta check on the baby.
So when you click share screen, Dave, what does it show you? Or no extra screen
Doesn't.
pops up?
I click on it and nothing happens. 'Cause I can hover my arrow over where it says share your screen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not giving me an option.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Someone's not still sharing, are they?
No.
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 Let's see.
Discord, you can share any amount of screens. I just find it weird that it's doing that.
Yeah.
So it's not giving you any options whatsoever, Dave?
No, I click on it and it's
Is it blacked out or is it like bright white?
no, it's grayed out.
Oh, it is grayed out.
Yeah.
Do you have the options for it?
Oh,
share your screen?
you have the buttons down here where you have turn off camera. There's
Yeah.
suggested activities, and then you have share the screen, but that's grayed out, as if it's not turned on. It says turn off microphone, and then obviously disconnect. Those are the options here.
On the settings for Discord, do you have that set up to allow it?
I don't see why I shouldn't have it.
Well, Discord, it's always messing up some way or another.
Yeah.
Well, let me open up Discord completely. Here we go. Okay, so let me go to... here we go. We'll do this. Let me know if you guys can see it now.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I just gotta get back there.
All right. Let's see. There we go, so everybody can see what
So
you're doing.
confirm, add class. Yeah, you just need to confirm it. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta get back there. Here we go.
Oh.
Can you guys see that now?
Yeah.
So I don't know which one I should go for,
So-
actually.
So all of those is part of the class itself. It's just letting you know
Okay.
what's entailing. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go ahead and hit add.
And then, yeah, make sure you're at level 5, not at level 1. On the
Okay.
right side, it will say, not there. Click X.
Is that the right one?
No, scroll up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. You'll see level by itself with the little X on the right side of it.
Okay.
So click on that drop down and yeah, go to level 5. Now you can choose any of those blue ones is what you need to choose for your class.
Proficiency. Athletics. Persuasion. Weapons. Let's see here. Pistol. Then semi-automatic, meaning I can just keep shooting, right?
Those were not allowing.
Oh, come on.
Garbage.
How about revolver?
No,
Okay.
there should be a musket.
What?
My camera moved.
Oh.
Oh,
Let's see here.
it's whatever you're going to be using. If you're going to be mostly close range, it'll be more of a pistol and some type of single-handed weapon, or you can use a two-handed weapon.
How do they have laser rifle in here?
That's because of all the books and everything and all the homebrew stuff that they add on.
Spelljammer.
Yeah, basically.
D&D in space.
Yep.
Longsword? Is that like a broadsword?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll go for a short sword instead. Where am I? Short sword and my second weapon.
Wait. You're paladin, right?
Yes.
You already have proficiencies with martial weapons. So you don't need to do the weapon mastery to get the proficiencies with these weapons. You already have it.
Okay.
Let's see. Sorry, I was still doing a little bit on my character getting items and stuff. I wasn't paying attention. But
All right, no, I'm gonna pick your brain about that too while he's helping.
Yeah,
me
go
out.
for it.
Dave, can you scroll up? Let me see your other stuff real quick.
A small Morning Star, musket, great sword, halberd, hand crossbow.
I think your screen is frozen on my end.
No,
Heck,
it's not. It's
or is it
how
Discord?
No, it's how he shared the screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Remember, that's what I always complained about when we did it together.
No, I don't remember because I was working on my character and I wasn't paying attention. So, that's my fault. I'm building the inventory, so.
Yeah, no, I am too.
but yeah, you don't need the weapon mastery feat because you have proficiency with all the martial weapons being a paladin. So
No,
I'll
he's
just randomly
choosing
choose
the
something then.
specific weapon. Is what he's doing.
yeah, I know but all of these weapons are under martial weapons, like the short swords, the long swords, the great swords, the long bows,
Yeah,
short bows, all that. Actually, I think is short bow a
Fighting
martial
style.
weapon or a simple weapon?
that's a martial weapon.
Is it a okay? I knew longbow was a martial weapon. I couldn't remember if short bow was. Um, but yeah. So
So the second
all
weapon
the
I went with is a light crossbow.
Okay.
For fighting style, blessed warrior or fighting style feat.
um, blessed warrior is one of my favorites. Um, I
You
think
get
it's I
you
think
do
it's
holy damage with it, right?
yeah, that's the class that I would use if I'm going Oath of Vengeance and I'm going to be smite happy. I'm going to go Blessed Warrior because you get I mean, you get the cleric cantrips off the bat.
Yeah, just what
So
I'm
and
reading
they
right
count
now. It
yeah,
says
they count as the spells. So you can actually you can use
DJ,
those
are crossbows
cleric
allowed?
Yes.
yeah. You can take the cleric cantrips. If you take guiding bolt, it'll actually give you advantage on attack rolls on that target. So you hit it with a guiding bolt, and it'll or is that a spell? I can't remember. Is that a cantrip or a spell,
I'm
DJ?
looking at spells right now.
I
Guiding
think
bolt
it.
is a first level spell.
It is a first level
Yeah.
spell. Okay,
It's a
so
first
never
level
mind.
cleric spell.
Yeah, yeah, we're
It
talking
should
about
be on
that.
the paladin.
Okay,
It should be
never
on the. It should be on the paladin list.
Yeah, it will be. He's doing the fighting style, so
Gotcha.
go
Gotcha.
Blessed Warrior. So I'm talking him through that. I've built a lot of paladins.
Now I'm looking
I
at the
love
spells
building
here.
paladins.
There's guidance, light, mending, resistance, sacred flame, spare the
Those are
dying.
0 level. Those are
Yeah,
yours.
those are
Those are your
cantrips.
cantrips. You can do those all the time.
What's
My favorite out of that list for
thaumaturgy? What is that
ooh,
one?
that's good.
Thaumaturgy,
That's good.
It's situational.
It's very situational, but it's kind of like it's very similar to Druidcraft and Prestidigitation.
Yes.
It's like you cause the flames to grow a little bit and flicker violently for a few seconds, or it's like performing like small magic tricks
Okay.
basically.
And it tells you in the spell description that you're not allowed to do like you can't do like illusionary things. It's you're allowed to do certain little things, and
What's
it
Toll the
gives
Dead?
you Toll the Dead is attack. It basically does damage to
Any
a
dead
dead.
Yeah.
Spare the Dying is actually a good one.
So I
because
think
that it helps if someone's 0 level and they're gonna die. Much like Baldur's Gate, you get 3 chances at rolls at death saves. If you fail all 3 of those, you die permanently.
Yeah.
So spare the Dying means when you cast that spell, they're instantly stabilized and they're at 0 hit points, not dying.
yeah, they're just stable. They don't have to make death saving for the throws basically. So I guess so the way that I built paladins, and I've discussed this with Dre many times. I build paladins as like a frontline bulwark. So I typically lean strength constitution instead of strength charisma.
Now, but all your abilities for a paladin come from
right.
your charisma. Now, for you, charisma is, and there is a little bit of leeway. DJ, I don't know if he's fine with it. I've been more leaning towards getting away from being strict on what your casting modifier has to be, and leaning more towards the stat that you use more often. So if you're a paladin that's going to be more combat driven, I would say your main stat then would be your strength over your charisma, where you could then dump charisma and you'd focus on your constitution and your strength. So that way so when they're saying, oh, your spells focus on charisma, no, for you it'd be your strength. That has been something that they've been talking about in other game systems. D&D has been kind of beta testing it to let DMs have that freedom to tell their player, like, hey, so you're not locked in the constraints of being tied to charisma.
Right, and that's how I like to build the paladins. So I like to build their charisma mainly for like roleplay and stuff. So I'll split the points between charisma and constitution pretty evenly, and make and then I'll just put a bunch of modifiers onto strength. So I still get like the excess modifiers that you put in at the beginning when you're building the character. I usually just jack that out with strength, and then as I'm building the class, that's when I start dropping the points into charisma and constitution. So I get a front load of strength at the very beginning, which allows for survivability, while I build the constitution and charisma to be an absolute juggernaut later on, around like level 8, level 10.
And,
so,
guys, I hate to cut this short, but we're getting close to 11 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So, I want to take this time to thank y'all for joining me tonight on this and kind of helping explain things to everybody, because there's a lot of people I think that didn't quite understand how D&D is played. So I think we kind of opened a lot of people's eyes.
Hey, it's cool. I love that we did that.
Yeah.
And remember, people, Critical Role may be amazing. I love them. They're amazing. They're incredible. But they're not real D&D. They're actors.
Yeah, they're actors.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with Critical Role. I happen to enjoy them. So, but they are actors. So,
Are you being critical about Critical Role?
Yes, we are.
You could argue that. Yeah,
I've never watched it, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching as well. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can follow. Well, I don't even say that anymore, but about following me on my socials and stuff. But tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. as we dive back into some Destiny 2. I believe that might be what might happen tomorrow night. We'll see. There'll be a stream tomorrow night at 8 anyway. I want to take this time to thank, again, Dre, DJ, Noah, and Dave for joining me tonight and helping us get this getting this kind of going and getting this planned out. We'll be back next month with another episode of us playing some D&D. So,
It'll be session 1.
I love how this
it'll be session number 1.
This is going to be like a 2-hour and 45-minute stream where I did nothing but spinny wheel the whole time.
Yeah, you were just. Well, I'm going to be trying out I'm going to be trying out something different next time. I was hoping collab cam would work. Obviously, there were some issues with connectivity. So
yeah, I'll work with Aaron on getting things situated with Talk Studio.
Maybe like,
'cause I definitely think it'll work.
I've got a gunplay hangar coming up in like a couple of weeks. We might be able to sit down.
So
was that DJ?
I was gonna say at least let's try the next session for an hour early, so we can get all the bugs out of the way.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that earlier, and I just ran out.
Like let's meet at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like next session, we'll meet at 7. We'll still have the stream at 8. But if we're on at least a little bit early, we can get all the stuff going. I'm 100% with that.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this time to thank some amazing people. These are my czars of my channel who have paid $2.99 a month to help support the channel. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Again, for less than a cup of coffee, you unlock some amazing perks like getting your name at the end of every video, getting entered into giveaways automatically, getting some awesome emotes to play with, and you get to see my content before anybody else. So thank you so much, czars. You guys have been phenomenal, and I couldn't do this without you. But anyway, comrades, that's it for tonight's stream. I want to thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Be amazing. Much love to you all, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 8. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Wow.
Later.
This stream has officially ended. Thank you for watching, comrades. Commencing end stream protocol. Enjoy your night.